All 6 members of this match are members of the Inner Circle. The winning team will declare themselves as the top tag team within their organization.
Then the team that will focus, all cover here by Jericho. Of course, not even barely getting a 1 count, but the team that wins this match will be the unit from the Inner Circle that focuses on winning the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
Now, JR, you said 6 men. Am I the only one that's noticed that only 5 men have kind of been working in this
what's
match?
up, Fix?
Yeah, MJF
I'm way behind Bleedy.
Am I the only one that realized?
Apparently, this is already over, and I got like 5 minutes.
No, you're still on.
Now look, Aiden
I'll be ever just going, what are you doing?
Hey, where's the bowl?
Hey, Quigley.
Here he comes.
This was the worst Dynamite of all time. I have a flex to do, Bleedy.
Struck by Jake Hager, and a smile lit up Tony Schiavone's face a second time.
Ibis Doodles just redeemed Make Me Flex with his Bound for Glory points. Ibis, I don't feel very strong today. Look at these doodles. What? What did you call him, Ibis? Only 75 points? Are you kidding? Do you mean everything's cheaper now? Exclamation point. Akiyama's only 20 now?
Ran right into the
Wait,
that's
Sammy 40. Guevara. But the other ones are 20 now?
Jericho enters and exits just as quickly.
Hey, Jericho had a 6-pack earlier. What happened?
Listen, I've been told that Tony Khan is ready to announce the main event for Beach Break.
Oh, Bleedies, listen up.
Even though that Penta has been taken out, he's ready to make that announcement. And take a look at this.
What a huge 6-man tag team match. Pac, Ray Phoenix, and John Moxley versus Omega, Gallows, and Anderson in 2 weeks' time at Beach Break.
And that's your main event? How about that?
Oh, Ortiz
I hope there's a waiting room, too.
To the skies.
And fans appreciating the effort of these men here tonight.
Too bad, you're a mark.
Corkscrew over the top, takes out MJF on the outside, and Wardlow
towering.
We can fight, Kevin.
In this match.
What's up, Geezy?
A suplex plants
Good
Ortiz.
to see you, Geezy. Don't worry, Joe's going to give you 2,000.
Santana just stopped the momentum there.
He has,
Yeah, kick to the
the
spine.
legislative branch loves this executive branch, so they're not going to try to smear him at all. Everything's just going to go right
In a
through.
very precarious position here.
Long term, though, we're fucked on that.
MJF,
Right.
I heard
We're gonna
about
be
the
paying it off forever.
pipeline. Is he messing up our pipeline, Bleedies?
Well, I know that the most curious thing I am to see is these bathrooms. He's already talking about transgender bathrooms. Like, are we moving away from man bathroom, women bathroom? It's just going to be like one big. Maybe we should just move it into shit and piss. Like, pissers on this side, shitters over here.
Is he talking about it or his puppeteers? Trump had no puppeteers.
Ortiz.
Trump pardoned Lil Wayne. Sorry.
2.9.
Is this match over? Where's that private party team that has tits now? I want to see them again.
He's got his
They're the team in the Inner Circle.
Hager strikes first.
Wow! That was better than a bet.
Hi, BFN.
The big boot by Hager. MJF. Oh, MJF.
Oh,
He's got the ring.
The Dynamite
Sammy's
diamond
off the
ring.
T-bar.
And he knows it. Hager knows it.
God almighty.
What school do you go to?
Explosive
What school
right
do you
hand
go
from
to?
Jake Hager. Santana
You had a
Ortiz
tryout?
out. We've got Hager rocked. Double clothesline.
Man, is it Jake Hager night or what?
Man, it is.
Sammy Guevara running.
I would like the
press.
kids'
No, MJF breaks
meal
it up in time.
with chicken fingers and a small
Ortiz
coffee.
sends him to the corner. Jericho tags himself in.
The chat already
Guevara.
saw the ending, and they say it's terrible.
Powerbomb from MJF.
I can't wait for this.
Jericho.
Yeah, you're not going to like it.
Oh, what was that?
Lion salt.
That
Hooks
lion
the far
salt
leg.
attempt.
2, no.
Landed on his face.
Man, this
Might want to jump up to the third row.
It's a hell of a fight, guys. I'm telling
Hey,
you.
JJ.
All 6 men.
Well,
JJ.
Intensely physical matchup here.
What
in our
song do
main
you want to hear to
event.
start,
it has been
JJ?
basically
We never asked you.
by the book.
Blind tag was made there by Ortiz.
And Santana and Ortiz.
If you consider entering the ring illegally,
I hope he kicks
by the
Hangman,
book,
Bleedies. That's what I already
They've
think.
got Jericho hooked. They flatten him. Ortiz with a chance. 1, 2, no!
close.
I keep hoping it's the end. I'm so jealous of you guys.
Ortiz can't afford to.
I got the
take
West
his-
Coast
Oh,
feed.
the
What the fuck?
code breaker. He took his eye off of Jericho for a moment.
Hey, OGJFC.
Which man can make the cut?
1, 2, no!
With all that weight
Harper's
on
hand was
Tito,
coming
he still
down,
kicked out.
getting close to the canvas when the shoulder went up.
And look at all the blood rising to the surface of Jericho's chest there. He's been blistered by chops.
Gilbert
The time limit becoming
Medina.
a factor, should it not?
Well, it's TV time remaining as Ortiz counters that double DDT. But Hager,
Heavy hitter back in. Sternum first.
Should I just start?
Got about a minute left of TV time.
Yeah, but
No.
there's a blind tag been made there by.
Am I going to miss
Hager
anything?
Sammy Guevara with the
Who do you think wins?
If Sammy pins MJF, I'm going to kill myself. Thank you.
Ortiz broke it up.
You should have turned it off. That was too close.
It better be what happens.
Jericho sends Hager to
I
the
didn't even need
outside.
to see that.
Jumping knee
Oh,
strike on
MJF's going to pin
Jericho.
Sammy. Oh my
Sammy
God,
Guevara
it's
looking
going to
for the
happen.
GTH on Jericho.
Look at this.
He hit it.
He picked that
blasted
fat fuck
Jericho.
up.
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
Oh no. Oh wait.
Thrust kick.
MJF DDT him.
Sammy Guevara. He's looking to put away.
Thank you, Chris
MJF.
Cross. He sent the diamond.
Wardlow knocked off the apron.
There goes Wardlow.
Rolled him up. And he's got the trunks. Straight now.
Oh, yeah.
Team of Chris Jericho.
I thought Sammy rolled up MJF. He changed his song.
Go, Big
Next
Show.
on
faster.
TNT, Go Big
faster,
Show,
yeah.
Encore. Stay with
Vince
us.
McMahon
And
said the
what the hell
N-word
just
in front of
happened?
us again.
Does anybody know what?
Whole fucking show. The whole fucking show. Follow the buzzer to the rotten fruit trees. Going slow through the gallows so the passerbys can see. Put a rope around my neck to make it hard to breathe. Declared me dead, but I tend to disagree. When the town folk spoke aloud my eulogy, it cast a spell scripted by the witch Shabby. I hurt for real now, I'm healed eternally. Time to erase their minds, cause I am now the fiend. Shake those hips, let your backbone slip. Pull up your pants, do the muscle man dance. Wiggle your behind, erase your mind. Just follow my voice, you don't really have a choice. That's how I dream of you.
Ladies, we just watched the worst AEW Dynamite of all time. I tried to pick a worse promo, but when Luther can't win that award, you know this is a terrible event. It started off so low, and it barely tried to creep up. The highlight for me, Bleedies, was Alex Marvez. It's good to see that we finally have a journalist in wrestling. Brian Alvarez's lies have inspired more than just me, Bleedies. Now we have Alex Marvez, ready to bring integrity back to journalism, to WWE media. He barged into Kenny Omega's house, Bleedies. He actually got put into Kenny Omega's dungeon. I can't wait to read his column about that on PW Torch. He spent 3 hours in the hyperbaric chamber in Kenny Omega's dungeon, and he made it out to make it back to the arena so that he could go to Kenny Omega's locker room. How about Alex Marvez tonight?
Yeah, I do like his Michael Moore style of getting in people's faces. Like, why are you guys at my house? And then I love the being the elite acting of the Young Bucks. I really enjoyed that little bit where they got to, they got to kind of do their like, why are you even here right now, Marvez? Well, since you're here, come on in. Like, why are you guys even pretending that it's not? You guys happen to be there at the same time. You know, it's just those little tidbits really make me miss like a Vince Russo or a Bruce Pritchard to kind of say, no, here's how you do it.
Oh, they have Christopher Daniels as their producer, because the guy that was fucking Silly Jam, or whatever his dancing character was, is really the guy we need doing that. And you nailed it with BTE acting. That's what this was. It was a bad BTE sketch with a camera they didn't deserve. Just film BTE on that camera. When you guys are out back throwing dice at the wall, get a nice camera out there. You're already trashing Bailey's place anyway. Just take all the nice cameras Tony has too. Tony's dad is going to cover it, Bleedies. It's fine. By the way, while me and Alex Marvez are bringing journalistic integrity back after Brian Alvarez told us Brody Lee hurt his ankle, then he died. Then he had to tell us the truth. After Brian Alvarez told us Nick Jackson hurt his ankle, but he had COVID and barely survived. He was on a fucking respirator for a month. We find out 2 months later it's not a hurt ankle. So Alex Marvez is getting the scoops, and so am I. Vleeties, parks are there at gmail.com. I want all the tips. I want to know what's going on in these seedy companies that we don't know about. Who else had a threesome with Paige? She has kids she doesn't know about? Tell me about them. Parksarethare@gmail.com. Ladies, I'm bringing journalism back. And hopefully somebody tells me why Private Party has tits now. How about Quinn, your favorite? Puts his arms up. His boobs are flapping down. When he keeps his arms down, they look like man chest. And then he puts his arms up, he looks like Israel Adesanya. They're both on steroids. Isn't that hormone blockers, ladies? Because they're trying to hide the steroids they take. Now, Quinn, you're not working out hard enough. You don't just take the steroids or you'll just grow the tits. You need to take the hormone blockers.
Ayako Aklayama!
Oh my God, I'm trying to talk about tits. Don't bring up Ayako. I'm trying to keep her as a friend. We're just going to thank whoever did that. Ladies, the great Ibis Doodles used 40 Bound for Glory points to play the great Ayako Akiyama. She's a mother. Don't bring up milk or tits right now. Bring up Private Party's tits, ladies. What's going on with this? You're a steroid taker. You lift and shit. You know what that is.
I am now. I understand why he normally wears that weird like tunic robe thing. I don't know if he has the Kofi pecs because I mean, Kofi pecs have been well documented. He's missing the pectoral muscle from the middle of his chest. So this was interesting, and I didn't even notice it until you took the screen caps, and I was like, how did I not notice it? Now it's all I can notice, and yeah, it was a weird moment where it's like, whoa, I'm seeing this guy in a whole new light. But now I understand why he wears the cool tunic. Just leave that cool tunic on and make sure your foot doesn't hit the top rope on the shooting star press.
Yeah, now I know why he and Braun Strowman send needles through the mail to each other. And they leave them on their fucking bathroom sink and take Instagram photos. This motherfucker has tits, ladies, and you just think, well, I didn't notice, wish I did. This is a problem. What's the wellness policy? These tits say a lot. It's a guy who can't get in shape, and he's trying to, with means that is dangerous. In the same way, letting a 400-pound guy pose as a girl and jump on Riho is dangerous. These kids are fucking killing Matt. Well, Matt Hardy was on their team, but the other team's as young and dumb as Private Party, and they're killing Matt Hardy. They're running too fast, ladies. They're jumping through the ropes too hard. Matt Hardy went right into that barricade, and he's like 50. This is not okay. And now we got this fat fuck steroided up with big tits leaking milk. I can't have this, ladies. You take these steroids, so maybe you're trying to just skirt away from it, but we see your fucking workout journals and shit. No human can lift that. You and this fuck have tits.
Me and this guy, yeah, it does things. It's like we're just genetically modified organisms now, okay? We've taken things that they said would give us more energy. Oh, it's got caffeine and then a bunch of other things I can't pronounce. But yeah, maybe it is just one of those. It's just, and obviously these Private Party guys never hit chest day. They don't like work out.
This isn't a fucking. This isn't as like Kofi. You're like saying it's like Kofi and how he has. This isn't like that. This is a fucking steroid user doing drugs. Why do you laugh? Like even when I sent it to you on Discord, you're like, you didn't say shit. Actually, you didn't even say anything back.
He's so chiquito. There would be some muscle. He just looks like a little. We say this constantly. Like if there was a Private Party, these guys would not be invited. They look like, I mean, use a word here, twinks. They look like two little twinks. They need to take more steroids, and maybe the tits will firm up.
Please tell me you think this is just his natural body, because it seems like that's what you've been saying.
Really?
He
was born with these.
You're a fucking psycho. Look at these tits. This is not normal. And maybe he wants to be a diva because it worked for Nyla, but it ain't going to work for me. And don't transition on my fucking TV. This is on purpose or an accident from something else illegal on purpose. And I know, ladies, it's fake. Maybe they should get to take steroids, but if they're growing tits, don't take them anymore. Make it illegal. Israel Adesanya has a tit, too. You think he was born with this, ladies? Because it wasn't in any of his other fights that he won with picograms in his body.
I am worried about his chest, though. I mean, because I do
God.
see it. Well, remember The Rock had that surgery, too, because...
This is not like a genetic thing! All right, finish. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, since you got your 4-year degree in biology.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry I'm not qualified. You're the big meathead.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah,
buddy.
this guy has tits. What else do I need to go ahead about? You're not listening. You don't see it.
Women grow tits naturally. This guy just
This is not a woman! He has estrogen in his system from his fucking drugs and needles. Why is this okay?
What steroid gives you more estrogen?
All of them! That's why you gotta take the fucking hormone blocker things. I learned all this from John Jones cheating for so long. You gotta catch me.
An estrogen blocker.
No shit, because your body's like, you take the testosterone shit. Then your body ain't you know this. You're going through it now. Yeah. Look at you. You're an old lady. So when you take this fucking testosterone, your body isn't going to make it on its own. You start growing tits. Become a fucking girl. Some shit like this. I don't need to fucking re-Google this right now, ladies. I'm showing you his tits, and you should know. You're the lifter.
But what about his arms and his legs? And like, he just doesn't.
Look at Kevin.
What about his tits?
He's the son. He's
what about his
there.
tits?
He's the son. He's in his underwear, probably, because you can't see that far down between his legs.
He's got no tits. Do these look like tits? How about now? They look like tits now.
Is he wearing underwear? I'll never know unless I turn on the cam, not the radio. Oh, look at Kevin Stampoli. Hope he gets naked for me. That's Kevin Stampoli. He looks really good today. Get out of my way. He's gonna burn you like the motherfucking sun would. Said he's gonna burn your ass like the motherfucking sun would.
The sun got too bright and too hot for me.
Ladies, I just heard Shaq. But it was Brian Alvarez yelling Jax. My mind's racing too much. Shaq is coming next week, ladies. But we'll talk about his tits next week. Right now, we have this guy's tits that you think is just some normal thing he was shot out of his mother with. He had tits his whole life. Maybe he's never won a match, so his arms never went up like this, so I haven't noticed. But this motherfucker's body isn't natural at all. This isn't a man's body. So something fucked up's going on. And this is more like Tony Khan's like, wait, but his wife said, don't ask. I don't care what his wife says. He's somebody's wife with these tits, ladies.
Well, and this is clearly why he wears that thing. And that's the other thing. Why is he not wearing that ridiculous vest thing that he always has on, that like the tunic robe vest thing that he wears? So yeah, maybe this is the first time anyone's noticing. Like, but maybe when he was getting into wrestling, I look at the rest of his body. His triceps aren't solid. They do the flab. So that leads me to believe this guy's never.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Look at everything but his tits. He's the normal guy. You're right, but let's look at the tits for 10 minutes. I really think men just grow up. Ladies, I had to watch you read a Peloton ad like it was a news story because you're a fucking being puppeteered by the Biden administration and their social media cabinet. You're over here like, oh my God, the Twitter told me about Peloton and Biden has one. The whole point of that, and it's like, White House security might be worried. What they mean is go buy a Peloton. Joe Biden works out. Isn't he cool? And you're like putting up Peloton pictures. Don't buy a Peloton. It killed Brody Lee. Brody Lee died on a Peloton. I hope Joe Biden does too, ladies.
That is true. Yeah, it got Brody Lee. Maybe there is something more to this. And you're so right. Like anytime there's anything about Joe Biden, it's always, hey, Joe Biden was leaving his favorite ice cream shop. What's your favorite flavor, Joe? Like nobody ever asked him, like, hey, what's up with your son's laptop? Like, no, it's always the most ridiculous. Like, Joe Biden likes pistachio ice cream. Like, what the fuck? Who gives a fuck? Like, this is like Mark Quinn's tits. It's something that I didn't know before, but now I know.
God damn it, ladies. We got to see a figure four tonight. And it won a match. We got to see a sleeper finish tonight. I was just watching Raw the other day thinking, man, none of these near falls matter. Like AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Thank God the finish was what it was, finish of the year. That little slingshot thing into the Styles Clash. But every pinfall before that is just for kids, right? Only kids are like on the Thunderdome holding their head. Like they can't believe it. It's like, you're an idiot. Go to bed. I know what's going to happen. Just ask me. I could be WrestleManiacs now. Whatever that fucking channel website was that gave me all the dirt. But ladies, if we had sleeper holds winning matches, figure fours winning matches, give me a brain buster that wins a match. There was a brain buster against Ricochet that should have ended it. And we could have just moved on. Every match then on could really end with any move. AEW starting something here, ladies. I like what I saw in the finish aspect. We didn't have as many roll-ups or twisty roll-ups or triple roll-ups. There was that triple Boston Crab you loved and I hated, but we'll get to that because we have to run this thing down beginning to end. So, like, well, this was the worst Dynamite I've ever watched, and we'll definitely say why. The finishes were amazing, huh?
You know what? Looking at it, I mean, MJF won with the roll-up and hooking the tights. This was by far the worst episode of Dynamite I ever watched. Like, as far as, I mean, halfway through, I was looking at Twitter, looking at what was happening on NXT, which I'm sure that's their biggest fear is, like, people ever going over to back to the other side. But this was just, when you have two back-to-back squash matches, when you have two in a row, Cody beat the pretty boy, and then Moxley beat Eugene. It was this weird, like, why are both of these matches in a row? maybe open the show with one and then have the other one later. But the fact that it was back to back, I was just like so burnt on this show. I don't know who's in charge of scheduling, but it was very.
Ayako Aklayama.
Thank you, OGJFC. Ayako needs cheering up, and she won't let me do it, so at least you can. He just played my favorite name, and he used 40 Bound for Glory points to do it. You earn a point a minute, so we waited 40 minutes. He earned 40 minutes of points, Fleeties. Now, also, Fleeties, Quigley sent a Ninja Genie, which is why we heard that song, and he said, Fleeties selling that he doesn't know what PCT is. Fleeties, you don't know about post-cycle therapy anymore, huh? What is that, the old you that used to go to strip clubs?
I don't know what PCT is. That's so funny that he called it out exactly. Like, oh, what? You don't know what this is? I don't know what this is. Is this what Manny Ramirez did when he was on the Dodgers?
Post-cycle therapy is employed by steroid users like the tit haver that I gotta keep those tits up. At WWE Shorty G, I closed it. Post-cycle therapy is employed by steroid users to minimize negative health effects like tits. PCT is seen as important but difficult to access. What the hell? PCT may act as a harm reduction measure or as a tit grower, Bleedies. He's Israel Adesanya. He's John Jones. All these fucking cheaters. Nick Diaz is the only fighter who never took steroids, Bleedies.
Well, now that he could smoke weed freely because USADA doesn't give a shit about weed anymore, I mean, Nick Diaz is going to have the greatest body, or Nate Diaz is going to have the best body we've ever seen.
We definitely need Orton to smoke a lot. He's in pain. Weed is for pain management, Fleeties, unless you're bipolar like me and Kanye. Unless you have superpowers like Kanye and I. Then this weed really enhances our superpower, and we kill ourselves. Fleeties, Tyson Fury's this way. It's okay. So, what were we talking about?
Well, it got to weed. It was on PCT. We were all over.
Randy Orton, of course. So Randy Orton needs this weed, Fleeties, because he burned his face. Alexa Bliss did it, remember? She shot a fireball in his face. He started Raw with a 28-minute promo with this burned mask on his face. It was scarier than when The Undertaker had Yokozuna leg drop him, and he had to wear that scary white mask face. So Randy Orton has a white mask face now as well. How scary is it? The nose is peeling like he had a sunburn, and he just scratches it because he hates himself. He loves the pain, and he tortures himself.
It was a unique way to open the show, and I watched Hulu Raw this week. I didn't have time to go through watch wrestling and watching clip by clip, or the 3 parts that it is. So I watched the 90-minute version, and yeah, this did seem like a very odd way to open the show. And the mask is funny. I was hoping they would have the Rey Mysterio. Remember when Rey Mysterio lost his eye? I thought they were going to have a little like blocker over the left eye because that was the eye that got burnt or something. But no, there was nothing. His eyes just, I mean, they were claiming it was his face that got burned. So, I mean, the mask is a cool touch to Randy Orton. Hopefully it has Vipers and shit painted on it come Royal Rumble. But it was kind of an odd way to, like, start the show, like, we're a real dark Randy Orton with a mask on. Let's do the Cody Rhodes thing.
Well, The Fiend changes people, Bleedies, and Orton already was the most evil character there was. At least we thought so when he lit this guy on fire. But now look what The Fiend did back. He changed Alexa, too. You see it. She has a swing set now, and she talks to an empty swing. It's very sad, but they're going to be reunited hopefully soon. So when The Fiend comes back, what does he look like? Me and Tyler talk about this all the time on NBA 2K. Fleeties, it's Wacky Wednesday. We have to finish early. It's double rep till midnight. Sorry, I just had to let you know. But when we play NBA 2K, Tyler and I'm an all-star too now, Fleeties.
Can you buy the skateboard? Because I remember in 2K20, I really wanted to get the skateboard, and they were like, "You need to be a level 3 hatchback," or whatever. And I never got that. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, Tyler had that. Tyler was a 99 in that one, and he's a 99 in this one too. I've been carrying him in 2s, and we can't lose. I'm an all-star 3. I'm going to be an all-star 3 tonight, so I can get a skateboard because it's default now, Fleeties. Now you got to buy the scooter. Now, the scooter's the cool thing. So, Next Gen really switched stuff up in ways that Madden didn't have the balls to. But, Fleeties, Randy Orton's burned. Me and Tyler only talk about Fiend about it. Is he going to have the same look because he's supernatural? Like, you can burn him. It's like he poofs away and just comes back the same, right? What could you even do to enhance him? Or is he going to have a bird mask? Is he going to have new makeup? What's the Fiend going to look like? Clown pants still?
What worries me is it might go the other way. Like, we're thinking, how is the Fiend going to get cooler? Husky Harris is going to enter the Royal Rumble. Like, that's what's going to end up happening is a complete, like, We know you're the Fiend. We know you're
He's the
Bray
sun,
Wyatt.
he's over there. He's the sun, he's in his underwear probably, cause you can't see that far down between his legs. He's probably got the biggest damn dick that you ever did see, right between his big fat knees. Look at Kevin Scampoli over there. Is he wearing underwear? I'll never know unless I turn on the cam, not the radio. Oh, look at Kevin Scampoli. Hope he gets naked for me. That's Kevin Scampoli. He looks really good today. Get out of my way. He's gonna burn you like the motherfucking sun would.
Sun got too bright and too
Said
hot.
he's gonna burn your ass like the motherfucking sun would.
Sun got too bright and too hot for me.
Ladies, that's a Ninja Guinea. Who's Rizzo Suave sent a diamond. Sorry, I missed that, Rizzo. The great B2 the Prophet sent a Ninja Guinea. Said, where is Shaq? Next week, Rizzo. Wait, Prophet. Both of you. Shaq is next week. Everyone needs to know this, but especially B2 the Prophet. Thank you for the Ninja Guinea. And ladies, I can't wait for Shaq. Did you know he had a show on YouTube?
No, I didn't know that he had his own thing on YouTube. I've watched him on Inside the NBA, and he never really goes out and says, y'all need to check out my YouTube channel.
He's Shaqtin' a fool all the time, ladies. I got to show you some. By the way, before we see this, back to what you were talking about real quick for a second. Yeah, with The Fiend, I'd love if he just came back. Yeah, Husky Harris, like you said. He goes just full Matt Hardy instead, though. Instead of specifically Husky, he's all of it. And maybe a couple characters that are still on the cutting room floor get to come out. He's even the puppets now. He just holds them on his hand as a different character. He gets to be full, retarded, and stupid and useless like Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I would really enjoy if we had Ramblin' Rabbit and Mercy the Buzzard. Like, all of them were coming out in the Rumble, and like they rip off the mask to see who it is, and it happens to be Bray Wyatt or one of his underlings that he get. Justin Gabriel comes back as the bunny. Like, all of these things. There's so many things that I feel like they can run with. I believe anything is possible in this world where I watch Ding Dong Hello on SmackDown.
Shaq!
The great B2 the Prophet sent a Ninja Guinea. And he wanted to know where Shaq was. Thank you, Rizzo, for saying Shaq.
MVP JaVale McGee was looking to piggyback his way to a third.
Well, now it's time to crown.
But that was his only Shaqtin' appearance of the year.
Ladies, you know who JaVale McGee is?
I do. He's the really tall guy who's on all the championship teams. It's not that he's really good, but he happens to be on these lineups with amazing players.
Oh, please, Bleedies. I can't remember anyone's name. I learned so many basketball players today, Bleedies, and now they're all just Paul George when I try to think of them still. I played NBA Live 19 and learned who Paul George was, and I can't remember anyone else but Steph Curry since then. But I learned about Celtics players. Bleedies, there was a number 2 pick in the 86 draft. He died 2 days later because he's a fucking dickhead. He overdosed when he was supposed to be Michael Jordan for us. Supposed to be the Black Larry Bird. Said Michael Jordan ended up being that. Well, Shaq as well. Thank you for reminding me. Who said this one? That was Rizzo and Prophet. They're all saying Shaq to remind me. He's Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. But Bleedies, also, there was a guy who died on the court. The Celtic who was amazing, Russell something. And he was running and he collapsed. And they found out his lower heart was defective or something. And he ended up dying 3 weeks or 3 months later on the practice court.
Damn. And this basketball, like, I know that Hank Gathers out here for Loyola Marymount, he had that same thing where he was supposed to be taking medication for his heart, but it made him play slower. I mean, this is just like One Tree Hill. And he decided not to take his medication because it slowed him down. He was shooting a free throw and then he just died. Like, it's insane. So yeah, like basketball.
Was he a Celtic, Bleedies?
What's that?
Was he a Celtic?
He was a Loyola Marymount. I forget what they're called. Mounties.
Well, Shaq was a Celtic, and the guy that I talked about that died was a Celtic. And Larry Bird was a Celtic. Bleedies, you said JaVale McGee was on championships teams. Was he on the Celtics?
I only remember him on the Golden State Warriors. He replaced Andrew Bogut, and then I remember him on the Lakers.
I only remember him on Shaqtin' a Fool.
Thank you very much.
This is the best video ever. There's McGee.
My main man, what's up, baby?
I don't watch Shaqtin' the Cool.
He hates Shaqtin' the Cool because Shaq trashes JaVale all the time. Because JaVale's a fucking bum. Shaq told him on Twitter, only person looking dumb is you and your bum ass. You dumbass. It was fucking great. He said he was going to smack him and shit. Shaq's mom had to tell him to leave this guy alone.
Do something with it.
He tried to cuff it in the middle of the
There's Jamal.
To himself.
He had a breakaway. Look at this.
Doesn't like it because they're down.
Oh no!
His one dunk he hits in the whole video is the refs, the coach is pissed because we're losing.
That was a bad.
Look at this pass. He looks like Kevin Bird in NBA 2K20 last year. That's my character.
And I asked the question, where the hell are you going?
You're an idiot.
He runs back on defense, but you still have the ball. Hustle back. Sub. He says, you know what? Forget basketball.
Goaltending.
Volleyball player. Play volleyball now. And spike it down. Get out of here. Oh, post him up, JaVale. Post him up, JaVale. Hold him off. Hold him off. JaVale McGee. He thinks he's a point guard, but he's more like not Magic Johnson. Tragic.
This is a compilation of all the best of JaVale and SHAQtin the Fool. It's 9 fucking minutes. I hope Shaq comes to AEW and Shaq's a fool.
Final play of the Wizard. Nice dunk.
Look at this. This is the best one. Sorry, ladies. I'm yelling at you.
Hustle back on the hustle up. Shaq. I don't want to be traded to Denver. No, SHAQtin the Fool is complete without JaVale McGee from the preseason. Watch the Nuggets, big man. Come on, JaVale.
I don't mind that, though. As long as he's trying to dunk it.
Iguodala with a head of steam.
Lob that he misses. Boom.
I might just leave JaVale fucking up in the background, bleeders. He did every stupid thing he could do in this video. He blocks a shot through the basket. So he goes in through the bottom to push it out. And it's amazing he even pulls some of these off. He actually puts back an opponent's shot as he gets the rebound. He hits it back in. And then, like, at one point, the other team shoots a free throw. They're on their side or something. Or his team does on the other side. He tries to take the ball after because the guy got it and passed it in from the other team's side. This JaVale McGee has done every dumb thing possible in basketball.
No. I mean, he really has, but I will defend JaVale a little bit. A lot of these fucking guys have done some dumb shit. Like, that's why SHAQtin the Fool exists, because there's enough of these guys out here that make several mistakes in this game that they play professionally. So yeah, it's funny to watch consecutively all of JaVale McGee's, but I'm sure Paul George has a lot of great moments as well. So yeah there's no shortage.
So does Paul Pierce. Great moments, championships. What are you talking about? These people aren't JaVale McGee. There's only one. Just like when you said that guy with tits wasn't doing steroids. You just want to be a contrarian, but the ignorant one, the one who doesn't know, so no one knows. Look, if I'm not sure, you're not sure, so we're all just idiots. That's how you let deep states develop over generations, is thinking like that over generations. Now, ladies, watch this goaltending. This is one of two, but I love it because Charles Barkley each time acts like it's a block. So the first time I didn't really laugh at Charles Barkley, but then 10 minutes later when there was a second one, I laughed. All right, here we go.
Goaltend by JaVale.
Actually, that was a pretty good block.
I don't think that was
Charles.
goaltend.
Oh, that's Charles there. Yeah, see, Charles and his friend both defend him. Then later there's another goaltending, and Barkley goes, I think that's a good block. Charles Barkley might be the only guy who's better than Shaq. I don't know, Bleedies.
I love Charles Barkley. He's like, I don't know if he has his own YouTube channel, but there's several great compilations of Charles Barkley making people laugh on inside the NBA.
Ladies, we are going to run down Dynamite beginning to end, I promise. Sonic Gino sent a diamond, and he wants to hear a video. Let's see what he requested. Also, ladies,
Impact Wrestling.
all right, let's watch this when we're about to run down Dynamite. This is the Impact Zone. The guy with tits is on it, so maybe we'll watch it right before break. But, ladies, Conor McGregor is fighting. In 3 days, he's going to spark him out, dude. Dustin Poirier is a gazelle, head clean off. He's going to smack his head off the canvas, you know. This is going to be over. We're going to know in the first 60 seconds who the winner is, even if it doesn't end that fast. The difference in skill is just going to be so apparent. The great Conor McGregor is fighting some southern boy from Louisiana that already KO'd easily. Are you going to watch it with me?
Well, I wanted to ask you that because Dana White said he came out on whatever news and said, streamers, we're coming for you. Like he's so ready to get on the offensive this weekend because he knows whenever Conor McGregor's fighting, his illegally watched product goes way higher.
Yeah, UFC's pretty good at it too. They might even get Watch Wrestling because Watch Wrestling will throw up a McGregor card. So I have buff streams though. I got crack streams, though. Crack streams is gone, Bleedies, so we're going to have to try buff streams all night. I bet you there's going to be 4 or 5 on D-Live anyway. I'll check Legend of Total War stream. Maybe he's watching it live. But, Bleedies, are you ready? Do you know how lucky you are? You're alive when Connor is, the greatest combat sports athlete ever. The man who made me realize Ireland isn't a shithole. We're going to pledge fealty to that better country that Connor's from.
No, and you're so right when you say, like, we get to be alive during the Conor McGregor era. Like, his life, we could have been born in the 30s. Can you imagine? So, yeah, it's so good that we get to see this. And I am excited. I don't watch a ton of UFC. I mean, we all know that. But whenever I do, and now that you say crack streams is gone, I'm already in my head going, like, I got the backups. So, yeah, I can't wait to see this fight. And I know very little about Dustin Poirier.
What?
My favorite part was the first time I heard Dustin Poirier's name, my head went Justin Gaethje. So I was like, that's going to be great. And no, that's not the fight. It's Conor versus Poirier.
Oh, I wish it was Conor versus Justin. But Dustin's had an incredible couple of years. He beat Eddie Alvarez. Woo, what a god. Guess who else beat Eddie Alvarez? Way better. Dustin's been amazing, though. Ricardio loves him, Bleedies. I'm sure we had Alistair, our MMA expert, who was 13. He loves Dustin Poirier. These people who know too much think they know more than they do. You just got to look at it for face value. That left hand bursts anyone. We know who to pick, Bleedies. By the way, Bleedies, I got to live during Conor McGregor. I got to live during Mike Tyson. And I got to live during Shaq. Shaq! Did you know Shaq's a flat earther?
No, I just was listening to one of these old Flat Earth podcasts that I've been obsessed with, and they mentioned a couple NBA players that I didn't know, because we all knew the Kyrie Irving one, but they were throwing names out there, and Shaq might have been one of them that had toyed with the conversation of the Earth being flat.
He claims he was kidding, but AJ Styles sat him down and taught him you're right. And these NBA players have been up in planes more than a lot of people, so they see it too. Bleedies, how high do we have to go? This one guy went up in a balloon 80,000 feet, and he saw the Earth. He said the Earth curved up at the end.
Shaq!
What does that mean? That's a different type of curve, huh?
Yeah, now it's it's like a quarter pipe. It starts to go up a little bit. Yeah, well, and that's one of the interesting arguments is that, yeah, it seems like people that are, and I just heard this argument, so I'm going to use it, but, people that work 9-to-5 jobs with kids and they're always on their grind, they don't care if it's round or flat. They were told it's a globe, so it's a globe. But rich athletes, a lot of comedians, a lot of actors, they're more likely to believe in the flat earth because they actually have time to think about it.
Right. You guys are distracted by so many things, and you don't know you're going to die one day. And then us like Shaq are like, wait, someone out there is living forever. And what's that ice wall? It's not an ice wall. I'm looking right at it. So it's really annoying when you idiots show up, Bleedies, and, taint the conversation with ignorance. Like with the tits earlier. It's always like, oh, I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Who cares if he has tits? Well, the rules care. The competitors care. And the shape of the Earth is the most important thing because it'll unlock reality for you, Bleedies. How fast are we spinning? By the way, Bleedies, we have to run down AEW beginning to end. We have to watch Conor McGregor's fight Saturday and see if Dana White knows what D-Live is. Maybe we'll go live and test D-Live and Dana White. Bleedies, we have to watch this promo real quick. This is from the great Sonic Gino. And we saw these men tonight. I don't know. It might have been backstage. Bleedies, did we see the Good Brothers tonight on Dynamite?
Yeah, they were there. They beat up my hero. They beat up Penta El Zero. So, yeah, it was... They were also on Impact, and I didn't watch Impact. I'm halfway through Hard to Kill, so plenty of Impact to watch. However, I got to be honest, Hard to Kill the first hour and a half, better than Dynamite tonight.
We're going to keep these Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championships for as long as we damn well please, because it's that same old recipe, HK. It's that same old recipe. It's a magic killer.
Ladies, is HK a reference to TK, the AEW phrase for Tony Khan?
That's what I was seriously trying to figure out. I was like, HK, because he's in the ring with Carl Anderson. Maybe because that would be 8. I don't know. Who knows what that meant?
A 1, 2, 3, and a just too sweet.
Universally recognized symbol. But hang on a second.
Here he comes, Bleedies. Matt Hardy is back in the Impact Zone. Oh, wait. That must be later. Oh, this is that guy who raped a bunch of girls in England. Chris Sabin. He was with Joey Ryan.
Those belts
Did he?
I wasn't.
Yeah, he was one of the names I was tipped at parksarethare@gmail.com. There was Chris Sabin. I told you this at the time. Chris Hero. Yeah, Sabin, Hero, and Ryan. Who's the girl that's wrapped up in all them Vleeties? She was involved too.
Candice LeRae.
Yup. There you go. Those are the names that I was told. And I can't say my source because he doesn't have much credibility anyway.
You ain't got no business, Twizzy.
He's my only source right now.
Because you ain't got no partner. So take your ass to the back and quit raining on our party.
All right, Gino.
If you don't like it, you can
James Storm Vleeties. Yes, blackface on.
Look, this is important, okay? When you're making a big comeback, you got to shock the world. You got to look a little different. Sometimes you fall asleep in the tanning bed or you fall asleep in the bronzer room. So who knows what's happening?
He's one set of tits away from being in private party.
Wait, no, that's not it. Hold on, let me do that again.
No, I'm going to skip both of them.
World Tag Team titles.
Matt Hardy.
As a matter of fact, those World Tag Team titles are the same ones that my brother
God,
and I...
his tits are even through his shirt now, ladies. What thing do you see him wearing that you keep bringing up that doesn't show his tits? Because it ain't this shirt.
No, it's definitely not this shirt. This shirt's doing no favors. What happened? This ruined his career, and he doesn't even know it yet. He wears a tunic thing.
He's PCTing, dude.
Away from us in some stupid teleportation
Or
angle.
he's not PCTing. Maybe he should have.
Hey, Matt, that has nothing to do with us. That has nothing to do with us.
Who gives a shit what they're even talking about? They're all ignoring tits right now. They're just lying to me. Vleeties, remember, Javal McGee.
Good defense, Javale.
Oh, good D.
Great
Good
pass.
rebound. Like, what the heck am I doing? That's okay. That's all right, Javale.
Impossible. He spins.
No.
He falls.
No,
he throws a no-look pass. He spins. He falls. He throws a no-look pass.
Tell me again, Vleeties, how Javal McGee's the best.
He's just the best, all right? No, he's definitely not the best. My argument for him was just to try and make him feel better. It's okay, Javale. We all make mistakes.
Oh, ladies, we sat through the worst Dynamite of our lives. I think I finally got you to see the boobs. B2 the Prophet sent a diamond and said, is that Chad Too Bad or Sex Ferguson? I think it's Sexton Hardcastle. B2 the Prophet sent another diamond. All right, we need to do another disbursement, ladies, our third one. So we'll take a quick break. It is Wacky Wednesday, so not for us, Fleeties. It's for NBA 2K21. We don't have Wacky Wednesday. It's already taken. It's double rep in NBA 2K, so I can't get JaVale McGee out of my head. I know I'm going to blow it tonight, Fleeties. I'm going to goaltend. I'm going to pass well out of bounds. I'm going to McGee away and waste away Wacky Wednesday tonight.
It's all about who's coaching. That's the thing. This JaVale guy just needs to be coached up a little bit. Sometimes, you need to go back to basics, like how to pass the ball, how to dribble. And sometimes you forget it in the heat of the moment.
You know Steve Kerr? He can coach him. Steve Kerr was the only coach in that video who just had a dead steer the whole time. He didn't sell whatever JaVale was doing because the Golden State Warriors were already up by 40 anyway.
See? Yeah. And I love that Steve Kerr is this amazing coach, but they lose one guy for an entire season and the team falls apart.
No, Clay! We got to play for... You don't know who Clay is. He was the number 2 pick. He's the only shooter that can maybe hit 106 threes in a row. Even Steph Curry couldn't do that. He only hit 105. Have you even seen this, ladies? Do I have to bring that up?
No, I've seen it. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are probably the greatest. I mean, the Splash Brothers. What are we saying? Come on, amazing. But when they lose Klay Thompson and they don't have him for another year, I mean, you got to tell me there's a little more of a backup plan than this. You can't lose one shooting guard and the entire piece, the entire puzzle is useless now.
You're so lucky I don't know anything about fucking basketball. I'll be all over you right now with reality.
You were so ready to go.
But in the meanwhile, ladies, there is Dynamite. So take us to break like only you can. The best broadcaster in podcasting will come back and run down Dynamite.
We'll be right back on D-Live. Do not go anywhere.
People aren't built tough anymore.
I'm sure he'd do the fucking 9-year-old girl.
They
aren't built to grind. They're built weak, soft. They're used to second place trophies.
Do not buy farm-raised salmon, if that makes sense. And if you knew anything about farm-raised salmon, you wouldn't eat it either. They have to feed them orange dye. What school should I go to?
Ladies and gentlemen, did you see that package? I mean, that package had me all fired up.
I heard the fart come out of Conrad's bum. Ass cheeks slapped together violently. Pull up the leg, cry aloud. Brag about the deed triumphantly.
Look at this. Saturday
Rag at the kill. Jim's hot tub is ready to please.
Stacy can't have her fun.
Give Stacy a thrill. In the warm water, I can feel the feed. Yowie, the one that you wanted. Wowie, learning to feed. Yowie, the one that you wanted. Wowie, learning to feed. Yowie, the one that you wanted. Wowie, learning to feed. Yowie, the one that you wanted. Wowie, learning to feed.
What school you go to?
As the fiend, not a dog, but the fiend.
I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to compete with everybody. And all the regional guys in the little territories, some of them even did television out of a studio.
Eyes mesmerized by the light from the moon. If you don't move too fast, they'll be seeing you soon. Shadows from a past life fill up the room. I think he's gonna burn it down. Is he gonna die too? Stand holy will bring the thunder. He came back from the land down under. Ghost names right in Bentley. Large Sullivan get porno. Whole fucking show ain't for pussies. Just us, real men. The fireflies emit red light in the room. Shadows of a past life start to show through. Eyes mesmerized by the blood in the moon. We are wearing the mask of the life that we choose. That's why we like to go to places we know, cause we've already been there, yeah, we've already been there. That's why we like to burn all the bridges, you know, cause we've already been there, yeah, we've already been there.
Ladies, we started the great Dynamite tonight.
Jax!
Did Jim Ross say you know what that means? Because I think I was too busy watching Strong Opinion Sports that I actually missed 2 minutes. And I got there just in time for Dark Order's entrance on Brody Jr.'s birthday. Brody Jr.'s -1. And he cut the worst promo of the night that wasn't done by Ricky Starks. We had to see this AEW Dark footage that would have fit just fine on Instagram. Maybe even Twitter. Ladies, I know, it's a kid. But do you know it's a kid? Like, that's why I hate it. So we're not allowed to hate it because it's a kid, but it's every reason why it sucks. Can we just stop this? Can we do it on Dark and keep it there? I didn't even know what happened on Dark, and that was good.
Yeah, we didn't need to see it. I guess the first part of the show was for Brody Jr. I mean, clearly that's what it was. Then we sang Happy Birthday, and it all was kind of like for the television audience. I mean, we're not there live. It does tug your heartstring a little bit, but we really went all in on showing the promo from last night. And I mean, you're so right when you said that Dr. Luther didn't have a worst promo of the night, which is odd because even his promo is like. I was like, at least he's doing the basics. I mean, fuck it. Like, I guess if we're letting an 11-year-old cut a promo, let's just let this guy give it to Serpentico. What are we doing? Let's get everyone involved.
And you'll notice when this kid's in a segment, all the adults start acting like kids, like they're baby talking their promos. And that's not what Dynamite is. This isn't the alternative we want. We already had the kid show. You want to make a wish, do it off screen. Like Stephanie McMahon's the one who makes wishes on the fucking stage. We already did this. And I already loved him once. Now let's let him grow up and get good. Let the little kid have a birthday too. Like there's two of them, Bleedies. We're gonna have to deal with two of these fucking birthdays a year.
Yeah, well, and it did feel very WWE, where it's like, hey, we know that the people at home probably don't give a shit, but this is for people in the arena. And I mean, you can do that, but you can also do that before the television show goes live. That would be amazing too. That would have been a healthy compromise, because otherwise you're me. And you're sitting there watching this like, what are we doing to start the show? Like, this show really didn't... It flew by because it was so terrible that I was like, when does the show start? When does it start? When are we getting our Dynamite that we're so hungry for every Wednesday? And then next thing I knew, Jericho was coming out, and I was like, oh, is this it? This is the last match?
Johnny Hungy sings Happy Birthday to -1. A fat old bald guy comes out and starts talking like a kid. And this is Chris Jericho's disciple, his Brutus Briefcake. And he is worse than any Hulk Hogan friend. He's worse than the Nasty Boys. Like, I'll take two shitty Nasty Boys over one of these guys right now. And apparently, we should be happy there's no other companies that Jericho can go to. We'll have to see this fat fuck all over the fucking every different channel, depending. He'll be on Spike soon. This guy should probably go to Impact, huh? We got this new business relationship. He can get in shape down there. That's our developmental. What is the Luther bit, Bleedies? And did you boo him? Oh, my God, I'm going to ruin your birthday. I believed it. Did you?
No, I didn't boo. For me, it was just like, okay, well, at least they're giving this throwaway match a little bit of a context. And then when TH2 ran out, I was confused because I didn't realize they were doing an 8-man tag. So I was like, why are they coming out to beat up these guys? Like, it made no sense to me. But of course, what better way to start a show than with the infamous Dynamite 8-man tag? I mean, we always got to have those. We got a couple booked for next week. I can't wait.
I didn't know it was an 8-man tag till I thought a tag team match was 5 minutes in. Like, it started with Hungy and Silver versus TH2. Then a commercial break later, Adam Page is also in the match. By the way, Adam Page running out and splashing off the stage was fucking amazing. Billy Gunn level. People don't know what that means anymore, ladies. Billy Gunn was way better than Austin Gunn. This guy was the best athlete in DX, and that's saying a little. He would slide into the ring and accidentally slide out the other side. And Adam Page seemed like he didn't know how far he was going to jump. He's just more powerful than he ever knew. He just got new pumps. So that was great when he ran and jumped off the stage. He cut promo of the night with his body language. And then we came back to a Hungy and Silver versus TH2 match that ended up having Colt Cabana in it, and Luther, and a lady named Alex Reynolds. Ladies, this match did have a great finish like the others. Like, it wasn't a figure four or a sleeper or a roll-up. This was one of those three-man moves I love so much now. Every guy did a finisher and made one finisher out of it.
And I'd like that you could tell that this match, at least with Dark Order and Adam Page, there's some chemistry there. It really flowed nicely. We can get into that top flight Matt Sydal chemistry that we got to see later in the night. But this was, this match was okay. But again, when you have all these guys in there, we were all just kind of, and it did feel like, okay, we're doing more Dark Order tribute stuff. And they're fighting Luther. Like, we know who's going to win. There's no suspense to that. So, yeah, it was a little, like every match, there was no suspense on who was going to win the match until the main event. But we even knew that one.
Johnny Hungy got to do his comeback that we love so much, ladies, during the match, where he beats up three guys. That's why we need an 8-man tag. That comeback needs at least three guys. The one guy can't get jumped on, then run in front of him and get hit again. We got to get a third guy out there for the third move. And after this match, first we find out -1's birthday was 3 days ago, so we especially didn't need to sit through this. Then Johnny Hungy tries to recruit Adam Page, and this was wonderful. He proposes to him, gets on a knee, and Adam Page says, I can't, because he's scarred by the Elite. But of course, Dark Order didn't see that coming after how their chemistry has been since Brody Lee's death. They found their new leader. So they had dancers ready to come out to celebrate. He said yes up on the screen, but Adam Page said no with his back to the screen. And the rest of Dark Order shuffling all the dancers back. Fleeties, this was like when Inner Circle tries to be funny, except it was funny.
And I did enjoy. Gosh, this was such a bad Dynamite, Kevin. It's even like going back in it, I forgot most of this shit happened. Like you saying it, like I hope that you took copious notes, because just hearing you say it out loud, I was like, that didn't happen. But yes, it did, and I watched all of it.
I might have to show it to you because it really was well done. It was bad graphics like Dark Order would make. Except what happened to their awesome commercials? Remember that guy with the suit?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Where was that guy? And you're so right. When like the thing, when he was like, I can't. It almost. I do like that it interrupted him a little bit, but it kind of went on for like a long time, and maybe that was the point where it was like, maybe I'm supposed to. And then nobody like tried to stop him or talk to him anymore. They just kind of. I don't know. It was just a weird like. Because I knew in my head, I was like, they're going to go for the swerve, bro. It's too obvious for him to join Dark Order. He needs to not do it, bro. And it made sense. His little, like, I was in a groove and it didn't end well. And then I just wanted Johnny to, like, grab his arm and say, I won't do that to you or something. Like, it just kind of ended.
Well, now they have to prove that over time. And when I said the guy in the suit, I'm talking about the commercials, remember? Join Dark Order. I signed up myself. And yeah, Valides, that I don't like how on Jim Ross on this podcast, he made me Brandon Cutler over this. I went to Twitter pissed. He's saying like, oh, that group was dead before Brody Lee got there. They were just garbage. What are you talking about? They had the fucking human throne. It was awesome. They were the best part of the first pay-per-views Battle Royale, Casino Battle Royale. When that fat fuck had all these guys turn into a throne, that was the highlight of the night. And then they had those commercials that were great. I signed up for Dark Order. I need a mentor, Valides, and I thought that fat guy could be it. So I think they could maybe use their old school recruiting techniques, Valides. Maybe put the things back up where you pull off a square to join Dark Order. I love that guerrilla marketing.
Well, and even, I wouldn't say that Brody Lee saved the faction. I mean, clearly they started out as a jobber faction. They were built to be jobbers, and that was, hey, how can we have a group of all jobbers? So we'll just put them in this.
What are you talking about? They're the best tag team. Stu Grayson, remember?
No, I meant once Dark Order started. Well, like when John got there, Alex got there, the guy with the suit, the guy who did the marketing, the recruiting. So when he was building this faction, yes, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno were a tag team winning matches, but it was clear that Reynolds and Silver were just a joke. And they could have brought in anyone to be the exalted one. I mean, it wasn't written in stone that it was supposed to be Luke Harper when he left WWE. So they could have been anybody. I mean, like Brody really saved that group. Can you imagine if Sting was the exalted one? Like wrestling would be so different. So I wouldn't say Brody's the only reason that Dark Order exists today. I think it would still be around with or without Brody. No offense to Brody.
If they're jobbers and a joke to you, that's Brandy's fault for doing the same thing with a fat girl. That was the worst. And then she gave up halfway through. So if Jim Ross is telling us the truth, then Dark Order was probably 2 days away from getting cut anyway. So Brody Lee might have saved him. Ladies, Sting and Darby Allin are next. And Sting's in the ring with Darby. And he looks around and says, a lot of shit looks familiar around here. You know, that thing he said when he first came. But then he goes, and I kind of like it. So he didn't mean to take shots in that first promo. He was complimenting the guy, Darby Allin, when he said, you're ripping me off who ripped off a bad movie. We all suck. But he meant it in a good way, I guess. So when Sting said Darby looked familiar, he repeated it in positive light. Then Team FTW appears on screen. Because we don't call them Team Taz, Valides. That's a dumb name. That's a wrestling stable name. And you can put any name there. Team Mark Henry is coming next week. No. Team FTW. Take team out. Just call them FTW. F-Team W. Throw team in there with the T. Why are they Team Taz? Isn't that the dumbest? Taz must have thought of it. That's how dumb it is.
Well, Team Taz was a thing in ECW. So
it wasn't.
Yes, it was. They're just going back to that. Anything they can get their hands on that's a little retro, they're going to run with. It's like Impact Wrestling over here.
Show me. Tell Gino to send it.
I watched Tommy Dreamer and Rhino fight in a match. It was like, wow, I am watching this. And that was on Impact.
Was that a wild Survivor Series 95? Did they take over again? Was it a wild card match, one night only? Team Taz was never a thing.
Remember when Sabu was on the R when they invaded Raw and he jumped off the R? He fell onto Team Taz. It was like Taz's little like fight club.
I knew you.
It wasn't other wrestlers. It was imagine like a bunch of cornermen at UFC, like people massaging the shoulders, got the towel, got the water.
I wish I didn't have to. I see that. I don't have to imagine it. Team Taz every fucking week. It's the worst. I want to bring this up, ladies, because you love Ricky Starks, and I think you're joking. You have to see what he did tonight. He had the worst promo. First, he just repeated what Taz said. And after doing that...
Ayako Aklayama!
After just repeating Taz twice, he repeats himself. Because Taz kept letting him talk, ladies, and this was really confusing for Ricky Starks, who didn't see the mic time coming, it appeared.
Well, and you asked, like you said earlier, what's worst promo of the night? And unfortunately, it might be my boy Ricky Starks, because unfortunately for him, Taz had promo of the night. I mean, he only talked for like 30 seconds, but out of all the talking that happens on this show, I'm throwing in Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Taz, like when I heard Taz's voice, I was like, thank God. Like it was just a moment of like, finally. Because I think Darby was about to talk. And I was like, no,
Taz never had credibility as a talker since we found out he picked a hand and he's a big bitch in real life. And since he spent decades as the worst commentator. Now, he became like a joke that we liked after 10 years, but he was still, I'm not sure he deserved that type of credit. Like, Taz is not a good promo, ladies, but you're right. In this show, he might have been. But he's in a thing called Team Taz, and he sounds like a clown to me. And then watch when he lets Ricky Starks try to talk. Let's see if we even get to it. Here we go.
During that match, you take your leather belt off and you try to hog-tie the legs. You wrap it around Brian Cage like he's a damn piece of cattle.
Remember the Taz show? Like the Taz show showed he's a clown.
Fight
like
dirty. You guys fight street style. Where my guys...
Listen closely.
Well,
you're going to hear street a lot.
Here's the difference. I grew up in the streets. Do your homework on me. These men are street fighters.
Talk about street, yeah. You know what I just realized? We talk about streets. We're talking about street fighters. Here's the thing. You two couldn't see us in the streets. Am I right, boys? Couldn't see us in the streets. Come on.
No, here's the deal.
Couldn't see us in the streets. Come on. Isn't that right, boys? Good. And then the mic's still there. Oh, no. You couldn't see us in the... This guy is fucking garbage. And I knew it from the second I saw him in NWA. I got to hear fucking... Brian Last tell Jim Cornette, he exudes charisma. He's such a natural heel. What? Make this guy shut the fuck up and smile. He's a natural babyface, if anything. When he starts talking, I know I'm screaming about it, but this isn't, it's not the right heat, ladies. I'm smart. I know the right heat. This isn't it.
No, I think the right heat for a heel would be if you let this guy talk constantly, not let him wrestle. And then would you still order the pay-per-view based on him just selling you? Like, that's why we say Paul Heyman's such a good talker, because Paul Heyman doesn't wrestle. We don't need to see Roman wrestle every week. We don't need to see Brock wrestle every week. But just the fact that he can sell a match just based on talking makes him a good heel. And Ricky doesn't have that. You're so right. Like, he does the beginning of that. Yeah, street fighters. Yeah, fighting in the street. Yeah, that's us, street fighters.
Yeah, it's like he just wanted to talk off mic, but Taz was like, nice, he's got something to say. Like, that was the whole vibe of the whole thing. Let's just watch it again. He's just trying to sneak in an off mic line.
We talk about streets. We're talking about street fighters. Here's the thing. You two couldn't see us in the streets.
I'm sorry, I got to go back even further. I want to see when he even gets the mic.
I grew up in the streets. Do your homework on me. These men are street fighters.
Talk about street, yeah. You know what I just realized? We talk about streets. We're talking about street fighters. Here's the thing.
You guys realize?
You two couldn't see us in the streets. Am I right, boys? Couldn't see us in the streets. Come on.
No, here's the deal. Starks is right.
Let Hook talk. Hook looks like he has something to say besides the same line 4 times.
I say...
He's going to say streets 8 more times because now Taz is flustered.
We take it to the streets. You want to go hard? You want to go nasty? Balls in your court, bitches. What you got?
That just reminded me, ladies. Balls in our court tonight. NBA 2K21. Wacky Wednesday, double rep. Ladies, we just had Puma virus. That's Puma Mania. Puma Mania was a 3-day weekend because of MLK. And Puma Mania gave us 4 times rep.
Also, NBA was hooking it up. They were like, hey, we got a holiday. And I didn't know this, but, listening to certain sports podcasts, I guess Martin Luther King Day is a big NBA day. I never realized that. But the games were lit on Monday.
Oh, yeah, I'm learning so much about NBA. Did you know it's such a hard sport? Everyone has to be Tom Brady. You have to know where everyone is. And the plays don't even really get called first. They always change. Whatever play you call, well, mid-play, you better be paying attention. Because now Steph's going out of bounds and coming back in over here. He's looping around, coming in through P97. Where was P17 up in the Staples Center? Coming back down to the corner. That's how Steph has to get open, Vleeties. But how does he even get open? Team ball, Vleeties. But I'm talking about me and Tyler's style of ball. That's where you're going to be Tom Brady. You got to know where your teammates are when you're playing team ball and passing.
Yeah, well, you got to, you're so right when like Steph goes out about like you have to do whatever it takes to run the play that you're supposed to be running and get the shooter open, get the hot hand open.
Bleedies, you got to beat your man physically and mentally as a team and individually, and whether you have the ball or not. The guy's covering you.
Yeah, this is a very intense game. It's a war out there.
I couldn't play it in high school. I didn't know the rules, I think. Like, I didn't know what I was allowed to do. I would, like, shove the guy to get the ball. They don't really tell you what reaching is, and it's because they don't really know themselves. It's whoever they want to win, especially in 2K, Bleedies. They call reaching when I press X sometimes and when I press X not times, you know?
It's just the random. It's like Madden with a holding penalty. It's like, I don't even control the lineman. Let the fucking guy through. I'll dodge it.
Illegal man downfield? How is that even my fault? Like there's this great play in Madden every time the fucking guard's in the end zone. What are you doing up there? You get me in trouble. I can't call the best play. That's how they patch good plays. They just make them broken. Fleeties, they ruined KO mode, and don't get me started. Tyler and I downloaded Madden 20, hoping KO mode was a little different players, maybe Tom Brady. Same fucking players. On top of this, they patched it a year later to make, because... All right, so KO mode, Bleedies, you draft a little set squad, like 3 players, then you play 1 drive games against someone. If you win, you draft another player and keep going. It used to be a streak game. You try to get the most streaks. But when they went to next gen, the game would glitch out after 4. So they patched all versions of the mode going back to Madden 20 to make it only 4 games. To act like, yeah, we wanted it to be a 4-game mode. We just fucking ruined it. Meanwhile, I'm playing The City in NBA. I don't even like basketball, but the game is so fucking good and so next gen. Imagine if we had NFL 2K still. How great would it be?
Yeah, and you can tell, like, 2K is their baby. I mean, it's such a popular game on so many levels, and I think Madden has lost that same popularity where, like, gamers are buying NBA 2K every year.
I want to kill you right now.
What did I say?
NFL 2K was their baby, too, and it was better than Madden. No one liked Madden.
I just mean right now. I meant today. I wasn't talking about 2005.
But no, you're acting like Madden had credibility ever. What, 01? Like, it's still the same animations. Like, the game is the same. And I never liked it, so don't tell me I used to love it.
Madden 10 is great. Madden 2010 is great. It took a few years after NFL 2K was gone, but I still didn't have my apartment. You're right about that.
Oh, you playing on the next gen 360, or were you still on Xbox, the original?
That was a 360 game.
Okay, no, but because there was still a PC version that had the old features. So you're playing a game without a real franchise still. There's like 89 features missing from 05 in that game. Because when they went to next gen, it launched with only season mode. Because they had to rebuild, and they didn't. They kept the same legacy engine. Never rebuild all the features they had back. Where was the Bruno radio show in 10? It was gone. With many other features. The game you think was great is only because you're like ignorant, Fleeties. Just like with the stolen election, just like with steroid users at AEW, you show up knowing half as much as me.
That's true. I come completely unarmed, and you're just fully locked and loaded. And you know what? When you brought up the Bruno radio show, I fucking forgot about that. Yeah, I love Madden 10 so much because I just played it forever. And like you said, like all they had was season mode. Well, yeah, I played 25 seasons of that season mode, and I was like, this is great. They have a new draft class every year.
Well, 06,
that was all I cared about.
06 next gen only had season, and they were supposed to add the thousands of features they took out. It's been very upsetting. Fleeties, when you go next gen, it's supposed to be better. You don't take every mode out and make Donovan McNabb look like a cartoon and put him on the cover. 2K knows this. They gave us a city. We have Wacky Wednesday. I'm so passionate about this. And you're the only victim left in my life. I just want to fucking kill you right now. So, Bleedies, Sting and Darby Allin were in the ring. And a lot of shit looked familiar to them. And then Team FTW comes up on screen. Your favorite. Ricky Starks is also why I'm pissed at you right now. Your favorite got on the mic. He said you couldn't see us in the streets. Then he said it again. Then Taz said, let's take it to the streets. So, are you ready for a street fight, Fleeties?
I'm ready for a street fight. And I wonder why they're teasing it this way, because if they would just say tag match, Sting and Dobby, like against any of the two of them, like there'd be lower expectations. But them saying street fight makes me think we're gonna get some shit going on. Or it could just mean it's a punch match and Sting doesn't have to do much.
Let's see what Gino wanted us to watch here, ladies. This is called The List, bro. What is The List? It's something in Impact, ladies.
The List, bro, from Impact. Is that Robbie E and Robbie T?
It must be. By the way, he's in NXT, huh, ladies? And he has an amazing shirt that has a print-on suit. And if it wasn't a Robbie Stone shirt, I'd buy it.
That's interesting. I would buy it more now that it says Robert Stone brand.
And now I have a new Christmas gift for you. You can't not accept this one. It's coming to your house, ladies. Jesus, Gino. Yeah, it is
What's
Robbie
up, bro? We're back on ImpactWrestling.com.
2012.
Robbie T, Robbie E, Bigger Rob, Big
Remember
Rob.
how much we loved Robbie E and Robbie T back in 2012? Everything in Impact was the best in 2012. We had the fucking gut check. We had 87% of the vote going to Joey Ryan. And Al Snow still, over personal issues, he hates rapists, was trying not to let him get signed. But, ladies, I listened to Bruce Pritchard talk about that. They were lying. He was already signed.
Yeah, that blew my mind too when I heard that Something to Wrestle With episode, because it was like, what? It wasn't all, because in my head I was like, yeah, it was a shoot. I saw Joey Ryan wrestle at Empire Wrestling Federation in Covina like 2 weekends later, and then literally the next Thursday he was on Impact. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is he worked me, bro. Like, how did he get on a plane? Like, in my head for some reason I was like, you can't fly to Orlando after just being in Covina 5 days before. That's not how any of this works. But you're so right. I love just you putting up the shot of Robbie E and Robbie T, and I forgot they wore the same clothes. I mean, it's fucking hilarious. I know that maybe it's just nostalgia, but I loved this.
That was the best flex you ever did, as you just proved you know way more than me about stuff. I didn't know any of that. You saw him in Covina 2 days later. What was I doing? I was in a miserable relationship.
With another edition, bro, of The List. And this week, let him in, Bigger Rob. It's senior referee Earl Hebner. He's going to get his shot to get on the list. Earl, what's up, bro? I know you've been
I had to go to Australia and teach Jessica about these two. I think she actually had a doll of Robbie E. It was like a meme buy. But I actually knew who it was, and that was kind of depressing. I don't know, Bleedies. 2012 was a different time, and Impact was awesome. It was awesome enough to make it to Australia like 7 years later.
Yeah, when I watch, even when I watch Impact now, it's a love-hate, because I really want it to just be the Impact that we all watch, the Impact that I loved, and instead it's what it is right now. It's the Karate Man ripping out Ethan Page's heart. You know, it's just dumb shit like that where it's like, gosh, why are they trying to be so funny? This used to just be a good, legit wrestling company.
Do you see hope, though, with Kenny Omega, Don Callis? We went to Kenny's house here on Dynamite. We're about to do that. Do you think there's something great happening besides Rich Swann as champion? Stuff looks pretty interesting from the AEW side.
Yeah, well, and you're so right, where it's like the AEW stuff, it really makes me question what Impact's long-term goal is, because Rich Swann's the champion. When they added Moose to that match at Hard to Kill, I was like, okay, finally we're making this a little more legit. We're going to get Moose involved. And Rich Swann still looked like shit. I mean, I haven't watched that. But just having Rich sitting there, like, trying to get everyone fired up for the match, I was like, this guy is the worst European champion of all time. How am I supposed to take him seriously as their world champion? I think that's really what's hurting them right now for me.
I love Moose. Why isn't he champion? Wasn't he feuding with EC3? Didn't EC3 open up a briefcase next to Moose once and get fired?
Well, so for some reason, I mean, Tessa Blanchard is Impact champion, and
I love Tessa. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, she got stuck in Mexico and never came back to Impact. So Moose had the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and I kind of liked that he was pretending this was the World Championship, but he was defending it like a World Championship. So I was like, okay, so they're going to run with this. But then even Josh Matthews would say, like, he found that belt on a table. And it's like, well, he's defending it like you guys are taking it kind of seriously. He's beating Tommy Dreamer in matches. Like, is this real? Willie Mack, is this real or not? And then Rich Swann's the Impact champion, and then like they don't even really have like any sort of like match, like, you know, so any sort of, what's it called, like unification match or anything like that. It's just, nope, Moose is not a real champion. Rich Swann is the top guy in the company. It's like, dude, Rich Swann, no offense, sucks.
Give me the scoop on Tessa, Bleedies. You brought her up. She had that shit video that now you think might not even be her. So was it her? How come she disappeared right after? Was it the N-word controversy? And what really happened? Was it a power move by her or the company? Who wouldn't get out of Mexico, really? Like, it wasn't Mexico's fault.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she could have got into the United. A lot of people get into the United States, COVID or not. So it's
Wall or not.
It really was her choice, and they even gave her the option. Like, can you just film stuff? Like, you could do the Drew McIntyre COVID promo and send those in every week and just let us know what's going on. And when you are able to come back, we'll do it. But for some reason, she was just unwilling to play ball. And I mean, all she does now is post photos of her working out at CrossFit gyms in San Antonio. So she's in the States now. So I don't, it must have just been her idea to never go back to Impact Wrestling. She must have had a falling out with everyone there. But I don't know why that was the decision, but I think it was all on her.
Let me play the Vleedy side. I'll be Vleedys real quick. Look, I don't know. You don't know. So what if the company booked a girl world champion and couldn't book a way out? And they're like, well, this is a good storyline. She won't come out of Mexico. They just kind of not cut off communication, but you can always make life harder as a promoter for someone getting a date or not getting one. Maybe the company needed Moose and Rich Swann to represent them, not a girl beating up guys.
And you know what? That's probably exactly what happened. Was there was all these great things, like by great, I mean, great, like, all the progress we're seeing. We have a female world champion, but it was like, okay, how is she going to drop this title? We're building toward what are they building towards? There was really nothing to build towards. Like, if anything, Vince Russo should have came out and said, okay, we're stripping every one of the titles and we are wiping the slate clean, bro. Because it really did feel like that. It was like, okay, cool, let's give it to somebody else. And then they gave it to Eddie Edwards, which in my opinion was awful. But you got to do what you got to do when you're top guy, brother, when he doesn't show up to work. So I agree that, yeah, maybe they did. They were like, let's just do this. Let's do this. There's momentum. People are talking about Tessa being the champion. And then as soon as she was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to go there for like 2 months. They were like, perfect. We're going to sign Kurt Hawkins and all these other guys because WWE fired a bunch of people. We don't need you anymore.
Thank you, Periwinkle14, for following. Did you know we were just talking about Impact? Why would you follow? Don't worry, we don't do this often. Vleedies, I got to give him a piece of cake every now and then. He loves Impact, and you just heard him. Vleedies, you couldn't stop. You were getting all into it. When's your big Timeline TNA 2019 coming out for kayfabe commentaries?
That's true. You know what? I'm gonna get in the lab this weekend, I guess, to throw that together. And even Gino, I love Gino in the chat. Eddie Edwards is good though. Like, he's a great tag team wrestler. He's a great intercontinental champion. But we don't need this guy being the figurehead. That's the problem with Impact. But you know what? Stay tuned for the kayfabe commentary.
Gino loves Impact as well. You two could literally do a timeline of the whole last decade. Do a Slammy Awards. I want to know who was good. I don't know. The amazing Crisscross just sent a diamond and said, Shaq. Even though we heard Jax, he wrote Shaq in all caps, so he wanted to hear Shaq. Next week, Crisscross, Shaq is coming to Dynamite. Let's watch some Shaq real quick, please. We got SHAQtin' a Fool, always up. You know the best video is JaVale McGee edition.
It's an all-star. He's clearly trying to win an Oscar, but he's too sloppy to flop.
He's flopping. The coach thinks it's a joke.
The alley-oop air ball.
That was a bad pass.
It's a big man rule. If you touch it, you throw it down.
Pass. It hit a bad pass.
Anytime you spike the ball up your teammate's face, JaVale, we're watching you.
Even though
How come every game
playing better, or has he?
He's in the basket. Look at George Call like.
He won't make his free throw.
Ladies, I'm gonna get involved in NBA Twitter. I might blackface. I've seen them whiteface, and it's a sign of respect now. I saw it on WorldStar. I want to be one of them, ladies. They're so funny.
Well, and NBA Twitter is another. It's a wormhole that I can't get into. And you know what I will say? They're probably the most active community. They overtook wrestling as far as actually live tweeting and being very vocal on Twitter. Because I think I tweeted something once about basketball. No hashtags, nothing. And I got like 10 responses, people yelling at me. So yeah, they're definitely all on there.
I need some McGee tweets tonight.
Oh, Ernie.
I'm always a few years late, Fleety.
He did make SHAQtin a fool.
How did he do
Look
that?
at this airball.
Oh,
He does this twice. He shoots a free throw that doesn't even reach the net. Fleeties, I learned about a basketball player who got drafted recently, and now he can't even lift his arms over his head because he has a rear shoulder disorder. And now he's some piece of shit player for the 76ers, and he was supposed to be Michael Jordan.
Is that's not Markelle Fultz, is it? Did he have that issue?
I think that's Fultz, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Markelle Fultz was one of these guys who came in with so much promise, and he just lost his shot. Like it was one of those weird. I didn't know if there was an injury or, yeah, it was just he just completely lost his shot. Like he just couldn't shoot the ball anymore. He was terrible. But I think he is on the come up. I think he's making his way back. But he was supposed to be, yeah, like everyone's the next Jordan, but he was supposed to be in that vein.
We got to give these kids Tommy John surgery for basketball too. This is crazy shit.
Get him, cowboy, get him.
Hell, man, it's too early. No, he could.
Everybody say
Another one.
Everybody at home,
I'm going to trust the greatest player ever, Shaq, if he says someone's a bum. And this JaVale McGee is a bum, even if you say he's a championship caliber performer, ladies. You sound like Kevin Durant, okay? Kevin Durant had to do a post-game interview saying how hard JaVale works and all this stuff. He makes plays for us. He makes plays for SHAQtin a fool.
No, and after watching a lot of these clips, it does seem like there's way more than there should be. I mean, the free throws is tough to watch because you and I can go out there and at least hit the rim. You know, like I'm not saying I'm going to make a bunch of free throws, but I'm going to be in the vicinity. When you're watching guys hit the bottom of the net, it's like you get paid a lot.
I don't know. Skip Bayless does say it's called a free throw because it's free, but I've never hit one in my life. The Young Bucks go to Kenny Omega's house, Fleeties. And who's there? Who's the journalist? Alex Marvez is there, ready to greet them. I heard you have a meeting in the dungeon. And they say, what? Get out of here, Alex. He's annoyed by these wrestlers hate journalists. They like the ones they can pay off, like Brian Alvarez. Hey, I hurt my ankle. COVID coughing in the middle of his email. Fucking disgusting, Nick Kyle Jackson. So they end up leading. Oh, and also, the Young Bucks, they get mad at Alex, and they go, fucking Alex Marvez. First, we got to deal with the eBay collectors in the airport. Now him. They're referencing Raw's 4th hour, Bleedies. I ranted again. I can't help it. I got mad at CM Punk because he wouldn't sign stuff in the airport. And I don't even know if that was him. He just seems like that type of person. These are that type of person, too. Bleedies, those people in the airport, you might not think they're great people, but they are because they're doing that for kids. 10-year-olds can't stay up all night in the airport waiting for you. This adult's doing it. He's doing a service, and he deserves the payment he gets for it, Fleeties.
And is this still a thing? Are people still waiting in the airport trying to get shit signed? Like, I haven't bought anything with an autograph on it in decade, maybe ever. I don't know if I've ever like, oh, is this a signed? Because I remember when I bought my John Cena, what's it called? You Can't See Me CD. It was autographed, but I didn't pay more or try to get it autographed. I didn't care about that. But I've never been one of these people, like even when I see athletes or celebrities now, I don't like, dude, please sign this napkin. You know, I don't think that's still a thing where people are running around, Matt, Nick, I got your AEW ring. Will you sign it? I'm going to sell it on eBay. Like, if I go on eBay right now, I bet there's none of that shit.
I stole your all-in plaque off the Sears Center. Sign the back of it. Do you know what he went through to get it? Just fucking sign it. So then the Young Bucks go into Kenny Omega's empty house, but there's an oil painting on the wall of naked Kenny and naked Don Callis, and they're fucking. And the Young Bucks are like, what is this? And then they do their BTE acting because Don walks in and says, oh, that? I got that for his birthday. And I can't do math well because his birthday's 2 months ago, but apparently it was early for next year. I don't know. It's in October. I couldn't figure out the joke, but there was a joke in there. And through the BTE acting skills. Wow, I wonder why the Young Bucks never got over, Bleedies. Could it be this entire scene as the perfect example why?
This was terrible. This is probably where I started thinking, like, when does Dynamite start? Because all of it felt like an episode of Dark or Being the Elite. I was waiting for the show to begin because I don't know how this ended up on. The acting was cheesy. The acting was terrible. I mean, the painting itself I thought was pretty funny.
Fleeties, I brought Paige nudes up. Don't let anyone know. Fleeties, what? I'm trying to tell you about the librarian match. Let's move on quickly. I just brought up Paige's vagina. No, Fleeties. Kyle Jackson stole the segment again. Do you remember when we super kicked you right in the puss? When he said that to Paige? But also, he said tonight in the same delivery, this is like a bribery. Because Don Callis tries to give him money. He signs 2 checks for him. This is like a bribery. And then he goes, are you bribing us? And then he says it again. Are you bribing us? I was laughing so hard at that, but the rest of it was like, leave it on BTE. Just let Nick Jackson cut the dry promos.
Well, and even like when he hands him the first check, like we made this much last week. Like it's just such a subtle, douchey, like, you know, this isn't enough money. I'm clearly the richest wrestler in the world. Look at my skinny jeans. Like, I don't know. It just always, it rubbed me the wrong way entirely. And by the end of it, I was like, leave Don Callis alone. He's just looking out for Kenny.
I couldn't find Super Kick, Fleeties. It's the best damn sounder, but you can only hear it on Real Fleeties. Every Tuesday and Thursday, Fleeties, on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Real Fleeties to see this man. And what did you talk about yesterday, Fleeties?
Well, the Magic Johnson HIV, like it was one of those things, like, did he actually have it? How has he survived this long without it or with it? And he had a child. His child is a big gender fluid, like fashionista or something. Like
Is he Young Thug? Young Thug's his kid?
Yeah, Young Thug is his kid. And then, and then obviously we were all about the Discovery commercial that was so confusing because they said this drug is not tested on people that are assigned female at birth. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Why don't you just say women?
Sounds like PCT, Fleeties. You didn't know what the tits meant earlier either. Look, this is all new to you. Fleeties, are you one of these conservatives that isn't really one? Are you socially liberal again?
I don't know what's happening. I know the transgender bathroom thing is like, I don't know what's going on now. Like, do you really want to go to the men's room so fucking bad? Like, is that really the biggest part? Like, is there something inside of you that you don't feel whole as a transitioned man where it's like, I really want to use
really
that?
Don't blame Susan again, Fleeties. It's men who want to be in the women's room. Never the other way around. Men are the fucking sick fucks here. So say the same thing, just reverse it.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I think to a man, it's like, I mean, whatever, but you're so right. As a woman, I mean, you know, my wife kind of said the same thing. It's like, at least we don't have a daughter. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, if you have a girl, yeah, now guys can just go into this bathroom. And I love the argument is still, there's no people that do that. But there's stories in the news. If you look at local news stories and not just whatever they're feeding you on the national circuit, there's so much shit going on in the world that's terrible. So while you're all at your inauguration listening to Demi Lovato, just remember there are people in bathrooms pretending to be women who are literally just there to listen to girls pee.
Well, and they do think they're women, some of them. They're just sick. And we don't have the X on, so I won't bring up the statistics of this mental tranny illness and suicide and molestation. But believe me, they're all linked. So, ladies, we got to see in this house, Kenny Omega's house, Don Callis also do BTE acting. As the Young Bucks approach him slowly, like they're going to beat him up. And he backs into a camera that was left on a table. And he goes, ah! You might as well have taken the camera and made him do this, put his arms up as it goes in close on him. This shit doesn't work on Dynamite, just like the Kid promo didn't work. The Kid promo would have been amazing on BTE. If we got Brandon Cutler's phone angle from the side of Little -1 cutting a promo on Luther or some shit. Or, yeah, that's who it was on Dark as well. That would have been awesome. But in our cameras that are built for our wrestling show, no thank you. And this part here, no thank you. What'd you think of the cartoon acting and the nude photo that was painted on the wall?
The painting I thought was pretty funny because my favorite part was Don Callis also having the six-pack. Like, it's just the same body on both of them. I like that their pants are pulled just below the pube line there. It's a great homage to Shawn Michaels. And I don't know, out of everyone on this show, Kenny Omega is finally standing out a little bit as like a top guy. So I enjoyed the painting very much. Maybe it was the Young Bucks that really dragged it down for me. Maybe their segments are better off when they're out of Walmart trying to find their toys.
Ladies, we missed a ninja genie.
Look at Kevin Scampoli.
I gotta play it.
He's the son. He's over there. He's the son. He's in his underwear.
I can't show you my underwear. I'm wearing the red ones again.
He's probably got the biggest
Dangle
that you ever did see. Right to his big fat knees. Look at Kevin Scampoli over there. Is he wearing underwear? I'll never know unless I turn on the cam, not the radio. Oh, look at Kevin Scampoli. Hope he gets naked for me. That's Kevin Scampoli. He looks really good today. Get out of my way. He's gonna burn you like the motherfucking sun would.
Sun got too bright and too
Said
hot.
he's gonna burn your ass like the motherfucking sun would.
Sun got too bright and too hot for me.
Look who found his social security card and 40 bucks. I thought I left this stuff in Australia. I thought I left this 40 bucks in Australia, bleedies.
This whole entire time you've been like, that fucking $40. Did you find just an old wallet laying around? You were like, oh, I think that was my wallet when I was a freshman in high school.
It should be in the closet with Rosanna's crib card. I don't know why I keep anything from Australia around. Aiko, I still need Domino's tonight. That $40 doesn't count just because we found it. I'm sad again, Aiko. I need pizza. She's not there for me anymore, bleedies. Then we get to see Alex Marvez kicked out of the room. This is before the Young Bucks beat up Alex Marvez. Excuse me, beat up Don Callis. Don Callis kicks out Alex Marvez. He sends him to the dungeon. Who brought him to the dungeon, bleedies? Wasn't there a muscle man?
Wasn't it Nakazawa or whatever? Yeah. Like, I finally figured out why this guy had the job. It's because he's Kenny's friend. That Michael Naka whatever was in charge of getting the cameraman and Marvez out of there. However, leave the camera. Don't shoot the house. Leave the camera here.
The great Fire Fist Ace 11 said, turn on the lights. Why are the lights not on, bleedies? I don't have the controller. There's two of them. We need shining lights whenever there's a Ninja Genie. That is, what is that? 1,000 lemon.
Did the lights work? What happened? I was waiting for lights.
Can't find them, bleedies. The goddamn, I threw the controller last time and the other one must have fallen. Think it's in Australia. God damn it, bleedies. Everything's in Australia except that $40, thank God. Thank you again, Fire Fist Ace. We'll get the lights on before we go. I will find that. Also, the amazing B2 the Prophet sent a diamond, which makes it say Jax. And he said, can't believe Generation Me. We're gaslighting Dawn. Were they, bleedies? Is that what the BTE acting was? I didn't hear what words they said. I just heard how they were said. In the way that, like, Max Buck thinks he looks angry if he's crossing his arms and looking real stern at him. And he nods a lot. That's not how it works. That's how it works on BTE. But it's weird, bleedies. When you have Brody Lee, he can cut a great promo on BTE and on the show. But these dumb kids, we found out they're not just doing BTE acting, they're doing their own. That's how their promo is going to look anywhere. Shut them the fuck up, right?
You're so right. There's such a difference between you're on BTE, which is your sketch comedy / reality show, and then wrestling on TNT, where when you look at a guy like, I'm not super big on Cody, but Cody knows when he's cutting a promo in the ring in front of people. He knows when he's backstage. Like I'll even give Brandy some credit when she's sitting down with Shaq. So there is a way to be on TV versus on your internet show. And for some reason it didn't translate tonight. And even Don kind of let me down a little bit later when look, Matt and Nick, oh, I can't believe I said their names. Like, it was just such a weird, like, I don't know why.
That's why Alex Marvez is there. These other journalists are scared to even say the fucking names anymore. Prophet sent another diamond. Crisscross sent lemons. Peyton Priv sent lemons. Thank you, Peyton. Also, Crisscross sent a diamond. Bleedies, the lights are on. It took too long. There was multiple Ninja Geenies before we finally found the controller. But we also found our vape pen, so this is quite the exciting time. Also, Bleedies, we get to leave this segment in Kenny Omega's house. There's nothing but good news in this moment. We get to see the librarian entrance. Worst timing for this. Coming from this shit fucking shit to this shit fucking shit. Librarian's coming out. What the fuck? Skip this one. I know Cody's coming out in 30 seconds, but we need that other 30 seconds back. We need to go right from Don Callis going, just into Cody. Let's move on quick. Not into the librarian, the other worst part. What, does -1 come out and cut a promo on him, Bleedies?
And it's so funny. I was in the TWFS Discord during this match, and I did enjoy Broken Freaking Neck trying to, like, he's not the librarian anymore, okay? He lost a match, and he had to switch his gimmick, and I was like, none of us care. And him coming out as the pretty boy, it was almost it was a little better than the Librarian because he's like a not as attractive Val Venus. But what annoyed me the fuck out of this match, Kevin, why would Jade Cargill come out, distract Cody? Cody eats a low blow to the dick, and he wins the match still. Like, there's no reason to have that little bit of distraction. There's no like, this should have been a 1-minute match, like Cody was saying it was going to be. Why bother? This doesn't make Avalon look good. It doesn't make Cody look good. It was a waste of my time.
And when Cody finally comes out after Librarian, they cut down the intense part of his entrance, the dun, dun, dun. They cut it out by about as long as the Librarian's entrance was. Skip Librarian's entrance, give me the full dun, dun, dun. I need to reset after the fucking dungeon shit. So, but ladies, you brought up Jade Cargill. She comes out less than a minute into the match. She is perfect. Oh, what a beautiful woman. Her face is perfect. It always starts and ends with the face, Fleeties, but her body's a nice bonus. She's a real freak-looking person. And she had no mic in her hand, so I started thinking, oh, Shaq's here. She ain't alone. If she's just crossing her arms, a second guy's coming out, and he's going to have the mic. But there was no Shaq. There was just a low blow from the Librarian. And it ended up not being enough. Cody wins with the figure 4 an hour later. And then Tony says that the Librarian... This was great. So Tony sees a figure 4 on this Librarian. He sees the Librarian tap. And Tony Schiavone, Cody at the same time slaps the Librarian during the move, right? So Schiavone sees this and decides to tell a story. He didn't want to get slapped in the face, for crying out loud. What? What? He didn't tap out over getting slapped in the face, you fucking dumb baseball mark. He's tapping out over the figure 4. And we needed this. We need dumb moves to win matches. Not as dumb as a slap in the face, but tell me the great story of a rest hold winning a match, please. Because we can't have it happen and not mean anything. And then everyone just sat there silently after. Jim Ross is like, I'm the one who usually looks stupid, so I'll just let Tony Schiavone live in this moment. Do I have to listen to their, wrestling diaries when they drive together and talk to find out how JR felt in this moment, Fleeties? Did you hear Tony Schiavone put over a slap?
Yes, but it was such a useless match, a useless ending. Nobody looked good from this. And this was the part of the show where I just started to think, like, why the fuck? I think you might have messaged me before this, but you said this show sucks. And I was kind of like, let's just watch NXT because this is bullshit. Like, so when I feel betrayed by WWE, at least I have like decades of my life invested into them. Like, to me, this is still
Jax.
This is an extra credit assignment. So I don't have to watch this shit if it's going to be this bad.
Thank you so much, Fire Fist Ace. He sent a diamond. He said, you see this logo? This logo behind me? Who could forget EC3? I kind of did. Where's he been, Bleedies?
Yeah, you know what? I guess just Ring of Honor, which is what I don't watch or follow, because he has not been on Impact. I don't see him on MLW. He's not on AEW, and he's definitely not in WWE. He didn't stick around with that logo for very long. So I don't know what happened to EC3. Maybe he's hurt.
Shaq won't be in WWE either. He's going to be in AEW. SHAQtin the Fool, Bleedies, on YouTube.
676er SHAQtin debut.
Goaltending.
I mean, I don't know if that was a clean block, man.
Charles Barkley. That was a clean block, man. Charles Barkley has such great timing. Bleedies, how come Charles Barkley still looks like Charles Barkley? Shaq still looks like Shaq. Michael Jordan looks like Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen looks like Scottie Pippen. But then Patrick Ewing's a big fat bald idiot now.
Yeah. Well, I think Pat had the most unique hairstyle of the bunch, right? I know Pip kind of had a flat top as well, but he definitely had a haircut for the time, and he was definitely, he went to Georgetown. He's a big man. And Barkley's not no spring chicken either. He's definitely, what is he, on Nutrisystem now? So yeah, he definitely, there's a Charles Barkley from like the 80s that looks way different than what you and I see today.
No, he's still bald, Bleedy.
The way to beat the Warriors is with great offense. Oh, my goodness. The Mavericks bench wasn't doing that. Come on. That's called editing, Aaron.
JaVale McGee.
People try to
Look at this.
pull the chair. Pull the chair.
I'm going to tell you what. He makes them a contender, though. I'm not going to lie.
Checks into the game with his warm-up pants.
He came in with his warm-up pants on. I'm sorry, Bleedies. I'm loving SHAQtin a Fool. Can next week be today? When does Shaq win a Slammy? Why do I got to wait a week?
I feel, you know what? I don't know why having the baby, because there was that 1 week where it's like, hey, Cody's going to be a dad, Brandy's pregnant. Everything was put on pause for like 2 weeks, and we're just constantly pushing back whatever was supposed to happen. I don't even know if Shaq's going to wrestle. Like, what's going to happen? Is he just going to, I'm going to be in the corner of Powerhouse Hobbs? Like, I don't know what this payoff is going to be, but they're really, really, really dragging this shit out.
It's easy. Big boot. Well, imagine a big boot from Shaq. Cody running into it. Falling like Shawn Michaels, getting back up, then falling again. Maybe he can't drop a leg. I've seen him take bumps, but they're never on purpose. Like he trips over a cord or something. So he could take a bump, but I don't know if his brain will let him. And when he knows the pain is coming. We got to find out next week. Thank you, Fire Fist Ace, for sending a diamond. And that made me think of Shaq, even though it said Jax. Ladies, we got to see Mox versus Nick Comoroto. Or as we call him now, Kyle Comoroto. And Kyle is the only guy who would sign a contract to wrestle Mox, because Kyle's crazy. Who would get in the ring with Mox, Bleedies? He doesn't even have the belt anymore. There's no benefit. It's a definite loss on your record, and you might even lose an eye.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I like that they reference the rankings like when they want to, but every week, I still wait for them to, like, I remember Jericho and Tony Khan on the podcast. The wins and losses matter. They clearly fucking don't. FTR is reportedly the number one tag team, but they still got to mix it up with the Jungle Guy every once in a while.
We got to see Mox put on a promo class for -1 after. Mox won with a sleeper, Bleedies. By the way, a little bit about Kyle. We learned that he graduated from Rome University in New Jersey, so that's exciting. And he lost to a sleeper hold. And then Jim Ross told us how John Moxley is a different breed of cat again. Only now he says rare breed instead of different, but we know exactly what he means, Fleeties. When Mox was shooting about how some official in WWE made him apologize to Kevin Dunn twice and called him a different breed of cat.
He is a different breed of cat.
We know who it was. And do you think Jim Ross says it so much specifically about Moxley because of our video that had 110,000 views that mentioned this?
Oh, definitely. The fact that he said it again, I was like, he listens to us. There's no way he doesn't. I mean, we've been in their mouths before because somebody made a rape comment, and now he's mad at us. But yeah, he definitely says that because that's become a thing because of you. It's just like how grit took off. Like everybody had grit all of a sudden, and it really was. I mean, sure, the word existed beforehand, but it became a wrestling staple as soon as Kevin Scampoli made a grit flag. But this was just another squash match, though. Like, I don't know why. 2 in a row, Kevin. I don't know why there would be 2 of these in a row.
You had a tryout?
Just one tryout?
Who could forget, Bleedies? I want to hear him say tryout. Don't say it on BTE. I won't see it. So save it for Dynamite, please, and I might see it. Bleedies, Mox puts on a promo class for -1. He says anything can happen in AEW. He goes, shit's getting crazy around here. I can't even keep track. And how did this even end? What did he say? Oh, yeah, he said Kenny Omega thinks he can protect himself with goons from Impact. So Mox is still in the title picture. I wasn't sure. Doesn't Mox almost seem listless now when you see him? Like, without the title, what is this character? And it's weird to say that because he's only the best promo in the company. He's only the grittiest character who put on Lights Out Match of the Year last year. So how quickly we forget, he just seems so naked without the belt.
He just seems naked and he has no purpose. Like that's kind of what makes you.
Ayako Aklayama.
Sorry, Bleedies. That was broken freaking neck. Using their Bound for Glory points to interrupt you with Ayako's name.
Yeah, but my problem with Mox is I felt like when he was the champion, I mean, I know we had COVID, he wasn't on TV very much. And if he was, it was like, I'm teaming with Will Hobbs tonight. And he didn't feel like the main focus of the show. And now that he's not even the champion, and now that I'm watching him wrestle a jobber, it's really like, what are we doing? Like, you can argue the 2 top baby faces in the company are Cody and Mox, and they both had squash matches tonight. Like, they're not really involved in any storyline. Kenny's there. Kenny's on this show. Why not call him out or go talk to him? No, it's okay. I'll just wrestle Billy Jack Haynes, and everything will be fine.
Ladies, I just said Shaq. I used 20 Bound for Glory points. Did people know that was 1? Did I tell them? They must have. Did we hear Shaq tonight? We must have. We're going to see him next week no matter what. So I think Mox just said, this shit's crazy, bro. So anything can happen on this show. Yeah, I can beat a jobber with a sleeper. Then we see Eddie Kingston. This was awesome. We got to see Jake Roberts talk to Eddie Kingston. It's like the coolest thing I ever saw. First, Eddie Kingston says, I don't prepare, I just fight. And he's all like flustered by the question from the journalist, Alex Marvez, who's really finally asking questions since Brian Alvarez won't. And Jake Roberts comes into the scene. He starts talking shit to Eddie. He calls Butcher and Blade, the people behind him, he calls them a couple of monkeys. And he goes, bite me. Tells them to bite him like a snake. How great was this, Bleedies?
My favorite part of, I do enjoy Eddie Kingston going like, I don't prepare, I just fight. And in my head, I was like, that's why you're not successful. Like it was one of my, that's why you didn't beat Moxley. You should have watched the film. You should have studied some tape, bro. I can help you, Eddie Kingston. You can't live your life just thinking you got to show up and fight. There's a little homework. We can take your career to that next level. And yeah, I actually enjoyed the Murder Hawk monster. Maybe babyface Murder Hawk is right up my alley. Let him just come out and be, let him be Braun Strowman. Just have him come out, be generic big man. And then Jake Roberts, for some reason, I mean, he bought that shirt in 1986 and he still got it, baby. And he's not getting a newer size of it. He's rocking the same one. It won't zip up all the way. He doesn't care.
The amazing Alex Marvez asked why Kenny was at the beach today as Kenny comes in through the back door. Kenny says, get out of here, Marvez. God, first the eBay collectors, now you. And then Kenny goes into a locker room with Don Callis and sees marks on Don Callis's body. So Don shows Kenny where Kyle touched him. And Kenny is so upset. Kenny's very protective over his new real boss and new real best friend. Marvez barges in. He's not done. He's the journalist. Who punched you in the face? He was in the dungeon. He didn't know. So Marvez is all over Kenny, our champion. Kenny's trying to get away because he's a typical AEW EVP and wants information controlled by TK. Not HK, TK. So, Bleedies, what do you think of this now? Bruises on Don Callis. He wasn't just being a cartoon when he said, no. We should have heard sound effects like bam and pow pop up on the screen. It would have really fit in with the BTE scene. But what's happening with Don? Is Kenny going to get revenge on his old best friends?
Is there going to be some sort of a swerve where Matt and Nick are like, look, we didn't even touch him, bro? And those are like he did like a liar in the bathroom head against the thing. Could there be any sort of a twist to that?
You call it a liar. We call it a fight club, ladies. Of course that's what happened as well. That's going to be what happens. These young bucks are getting framed every week. When they were in that living room talking about stuff I wasn't listening to, it was about how Don Callis framed him last week. Built them up thinking they were going to come out as Kenny's best friends. But then Luke Gallows came out. Sexton Hardcastle. So, Bleedies, we had Private Party have a match, though. This is what's important. There were tits in it. We already saw them. Private Party and Matt Riddle Hardy faced Top Flight and Evan Bourne. And in the words of Jim Ross, does it really matter?
Jax!
That's what he said during the match. Does it really matter?
This was the biggest clusterfuck of a... I mean, I've been watching a lot of backyard wrestling clips, and this screamed backyard wrestling. My favorite part is the entrance of Matt Sydal, and whichever one of the brothers doesn't know where to stand. And like Matt kind of has to point, like, no, you go, or you go here. And then when they're in the ring and they're doing like their whatever poses, the guy in the back is like trying to go to the side, like me too. It was just like this silly, like, did they not do like a dry run or talk about it backstage? Like, was it just oh my gosh, Matt, I love you. I've been following your career my entire life. It's an honor. And then Matt's like, no, we got to be professional, okay? Like, take this shit seriously. It made me laugh so hard. And then I watched Botch Hurricane Ranas. I watched Botch, even one of the Top Flight guys tried to do like a moonsault and he just flat out missed. And then he went for the cover. And Evan Bourne is standing there like, I'm the legal man, you dipshit. Like, it was a great episode of OVW.
That moment is when Jim Ross said, does it really matter? And then he tried to save it with, it's a real train wreck in there, is what I meant. I felt so bad for Jim Ross during this. And then I realized I had to sit through it too. So it was a real pity party for wrestling fans tonight during this shit match. Evan Bourne had 7 ideas he had to get in. And these kids didn't know how to execute them. And they sucked anyway. Ladies, the Domino's commercial was the best part. I need Domino's, I'm sad. I need a side of ranch like in that State Farm commercial too, ladies. You know, that big tank Because when Jared from State Farm helps you out, when he does third hour every week for you, you got to get him all that pizza.
Yeah, I'm starting to think we should start selling State Farm on the whole fucking show because he's living his best life. He's hanging out with Mahomes, Rodgers. He's getting that lady's putting all those steaks on there. And she's like, Jake from State Farm, you only need one steak. Here's 5. You hooked me up with a Parker promo. You can have all this ranch. Here's a gallon. Here's a vat. And she even threw in like a brownie with that pizza. Like there's an extended version of that commercial where he gets a lot of good shit.
Another great line from Jim Ross during this match. How do you scout a silly string? I think he's just really like, what a dumb move. The end of the match did tell us some story, though. Isaiah, the one without tits, cheated. He used a chair. Quinn, the one with tits, is in the ring on the rope, confused, but then happy. He starts lactating. He's so happy. And then we see that Matt Hardy broke these men. He's giving them shots in the ass without the PCT that's needed after. He's giving them tits, and he's also making them heels, Fleeties. And then after the match is when Quinn raises his arms to show us his tits.
Well, and I'm even looking at photos from the Twitter, and he is wrestling in that weird vest thing as the match started. So somewhere along the line, he did like a Jason Jordan was like, the straps are coming down. A Kurt Angle, the straps are coming down. And he exposed himself on live TV.
His tits decided he didn't get to. He didn't have a say in the matter. Then, ladies, we see Inner Circle bicker backstage. MJF has to settle them down. He looks at Sammy. He says, we're family. I respect you. I'm not a sociopath. I come from a good place. Is that another reference to me, ladies, sociopath? And it's Sammy, after all. Is Sammy trying to make MJF a Scampoli? Because I'm the only sociopath around here.
I think Sammy is taking this thing way too serious or personally.
Jax!
I know that he got the bigger jacket, which was also referenced tonight, but it does kind of now it's starting to seem like, dude, Sammy, like you're taking this. His character doesn't make any sense for him to take it this personally.
Ladies, Primetime 13 wants his Primetime Hit the Ring sounder. He sent a Diamond and asked if it's ready yet. Let's turn off the lights because you fucking ruined the fun. Danny sucks, Primetime 13. I had to be mean to Primetime 13 2 days ago, ladies, because he keeps bringing up Danny stuff.
He must be going through like the archives. He must be on Subscribestar. So he's living this era like it's happening now, but it was 10 years ago.
But also, it's disrespectful to Bleedies, if you ask me. But no, he's from that time. He's apparently from Massachusetts, too. So he understands why I'm being a masshole about this. Fleeties, we see. Thank you again, Primetime. Legit Layla Hirsch, Fleeties, came out. Your favorite. You don't like her because she's 4'11", huh? You even call her coxic as a joke. She's not coxic. She's a wrestler. And Fleeties, how come Rey Mysterio gets to be 4'11", but girls can't? Because you're sexist?
My biggest issue with Layla Hirsch is I've seen her wrestle 3 times or 2 times on Dynamite, and she just loses. There's no threat that she's gonna win the match. I don't watch Dark, so I don't take her serious. You know what would help if they would take a page out of WWE corner promo. Just put a box of her in the corner saying like, tonight I got Penelope Ford, and I'm gonna beat her butt. And then I would be like, okay, maybe she will win this. But I had no thought in my head she was gonna win this match. So it's just another squash match. This is an episode of like Superstars where we're just enhancing the talent. Move it along. Like that's all it felt like. And I didn't understand why on a night where, I know that we're not in New Year's Smash anymore and we're building towards Beach Break. So are all of these shows without a fancy name, are they just shitty?
She at least needs a clobber in time during her entrance or something. Because when she comes out, they show Orange. This is her big entrance. Her walking down there doing nothing. Orange Cassidy looking bored as fuck is what they showed during her entrance. Just to reinforce this is shitty. You should feel this way. Just in case you were wondering, you're also Orange Cassidy. To all of us, Fleeties, not just you. I felt it too. Then Layla came out so she could fight Penelope Ford. And Kip Sabian's definitely gay. Just watch his entrance. Miro just dresses gay. Kip is gay. So pay attention going forward. You'll see it. We got to see Butler Charles Taylor, Fleeties. And they're going full Butler. He is really...
Ayako Aklayama!
Thank you so much, Primetime 13, for playing the best name, Ayako Akiyama, as said by the most successful writer in wrestling history, Vince Russo. We didn't need a team. It was him telling Jim Cornette to shut up so he could write this. And pretty soon, Vince shut up Cornette for good. And the show hit new heights. And it'll never reach him again unless they get Vince Russo back. So Bleedy's Kip's a fag. And Butler Charles Taylor is not a young boy at all.
Hey, where's the bulge?
They didn't just switch it from young boy to Butler in name, but also in outfit. He wore a suit tonight instead of that white outfit that young boys wear in Japan, Bleedies. So this is a Butler storyline officially. And how fucking terrible. After the match, whatever the match was, who cares? After the match, the girls were in. Miro makes, what's his name? Charles Taylor tell Orange Cassidy that Chuck has a new best friend. So Chuck has to say, Miro's my best friend now. And it was so emotional, especially for like -1 because he's like 10. He was crying. He turned 10 3 days ago. He was crying. The rest of us are adults, and we said, this is fucking stupid. As Orange Cassidy walks away with his head down, I was happy about it.
Yeah, this was stupid. I kind of wish Orange Cassidy would have just shrugged it. I don't know, I don't know who was guiding him, if it was like a Tony Khan, Cody thing, but whoever was in charge of creative for this segment where it's like, and then Orange, you're going to get up and leave looking sad. Like, it was just, I don't know. Yeah, it was stupid. Although I was excited when it started, like when Chuck came out, and even Miro kind of, I enjoyed him being a dick, but it was still like, at the end of it all, how does it end? Miro's my new best friend. It's like, okay, yeah, we're 6. Okay, I'm going to watch WWE.
Bleedy's Miro is my best friend now. Let's try to make Chugga cry. Chugga's our -2. He's better. He's even more negative than -1. Can I get Chugga to cut a promo next week, Bleedies?
You know what? I think you could. Although I mean, I'm not in that Discord all the time, but it seemed like there was a lot of men kissing, and I guess that makes Chugga mad. I don't follow all the storyline.
Chugga was bummed out tonight. After we see -1's worst nightmare happen on screen, the best friends be told to say they're not best friends anymore. It was awful. Then we see the Good Brothers backstage beat up Penta, your favorite, Bleedies. And JR's trying to make a story out of it. Rather than bring up Impact or Don Callis or Kenny, he just goes, it's all about the money, folks. Trust me when I tell you, it's all about the money. What? Okay, I love Jim Ross, Bleedies. I'll let it go.
Well, you know what? The problem is I don't think, I'm starting to believe they don't know where it's going, Impact and AEW. They have no fucking clue. They're playing, I mean, Rich Swann looks like shit. He's not a credible champion at all. And you thought, I'm waiting for Impact to get anything out of this other than Kenny Omega beating up all their top talent. Like, there should have been there should be some sort of Impact retaliation at some point. The only Impact guys that we see on Dynamite are the Good Brothers. So there's really nothing. I mean, Impact has no credibility right now. I mean, it's a fine show. I like Hard to Kill, but you're trying to compare AEW, who's just fucking. They're squatting down, spreading their cheeks, and dropping a big old
Jax!
shit.
If any part of the show's about money, don't open it with that 10-year-old cutting
Jax!
a promo. When Shaq comes out next week, Brody Lee's going to cut a promo on him. And he's going to drop the leg. This is so fucking stupid. And Shaq is going to be next week, though, Bleedies, we find out after Good Brothers beat up Penta. They go through a bunch of matches no one could ever care about or remember. I think they're all Inner Circle Tag Team Turmoils next week. But Shaq is going to be there. That's the only part worth writing down. So I'll give him one more week, Bleedies. You brought up NXT tonight. I forgot that was even on. Like that week, AEW was on a Saturday. I didn't watch NXT. I forgot it was on even then. I watched basketball on TNT. So I actually hope we can get some basketball on Wednesdays if next week is anything like this. We can do a basketball 5th hour, Bleedies, and we can watch SHAQtin a Fool all night.
Well, I wonder what the rest of the wrestling world is thinking about this Dynamite, because there are times where maybe I'm crazy and like maybe people were digging this entire show, but I watched like 5 squash matches tonight, and this could have been a 1-hour show, and I would have gotten the same fulfillment from it that I got from this show.
It's just simple. He should not be making these kind of mental mistakes. Jamel, man, come on. Posterizes his own teammate.
Posters.
I forgot about that.
Gotta play basketball, but first, coffee! Coming out to the floor.
JaVale, get him, JaVale. Oh, no. And Tyler? Bleedies, Tyler hates when I make fun of JaVale because he was a warrior. And,
Right.
Tyler's like, yeah, but he's awesome. He won championships. Like, if you read through our DMs while I'm making fun of JaVale, Tyler is clearly so fucking sad about it.
No, and that's why, like, I haven't seen the SHAQtin a full yet, so it's hilarious that I'm witnessing it. Because, when people bring up JaVale McGee to me, I just think, yeah, he won with the Warriors and won with the Lakers. Yeah, makes sense. Legend, if you will. But yeah, it's so funny to watch all these because, oh my, my favorite part of all this is just the coach's reactions to, like, this is the guy, huh? This is the guy.
Good hustle. Oh my God. Hey, yo, he's
Tries to
hustling.
kill this guy. Dives into his ACL.
2 years ago. No, he called.
How's your ankle, Dak?
Got up like it was
The fuck? Get him, JaVale.
Fakes, drives, misses, but is fouled by JaVale McGee. But good job by Danny Green.
And JaVale McGee. My main man thought he was playing. Make it, take it. Come on, man. That's right. What are you doing? Come on, man. Go, JaVale. Take it out. Take it out, JaVale. Oh, yeah.
What are the chances Shaq can make fun of JaVale on Dynamite next week, ladies?
It better happen. It better happen, or at least we better get the blooper reel for a SHAQtin a fool of Cody, because I'm sure it's out there, and I'm sure getting kicked in the balls is on there when pretty boy Peter Avalon got him.
Tyler, I'm going to post screenshots. He's acting like he didn't do this. He put the one quote that wasn't sad. I swear to God, I got to scroll up a lot. Ladies, me and Tyler talk all the time. We're best friends. So it's going to take a lot of scrolling. But he loves JaVale too much to even let me trash him. He changed the subject quickly into Club Shay Shay, which is Shannon Sharp's YouTube channel, ladies. Not as good as Renee Packett's YouTube channel, but it's Shay Shay's.
I don't know if I can watch Shannon Sharp YouTube channel. I can't watch Undisputed anymore because it just sometimes these opinions. I mean, you sent me Skip debating Skip. I mean, I can't take anything these guys say with any value whatsoever.
Shaq is the only analyst and only wrestler that should be involved in wrestling. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ladies, sorry, I was trying to find our DMs. You're lucky, Tyler, that I become 30% of my brain as soon as I'm live. And nothing becomes possible once I'm here. Ladies, we got to the end of Dynamite, didn't we? It was an inner circle tag team turmoil. 3 tag teams all in the same stable. And this was our main event. Holy shit. Just save Brody for the end. Have Johnny Hungy ask Adam Page to join at the very end and make that our cliffhanger and open with this shit. How about Jericho? At least those paid wrestlers in the front row are singing a song again.
Yeah, this was... I was ready for this main event, I have to be honest. I was like, once I saw what it was, I was like, oh yeah, this is where I was like, Dynamite is happening, baby. We even got Sammy Hagar on the screen. I thought that was fun to talk about his new favorite team. But this match with a 1 week build, it almost seems like this should have been saved for a beach break.
Tyler over here, look at this. He's on the Cavs now, won 2 championships with the Warriors, one with the Lakers. He's still so athletic with the stuff he tries to do. LOL, checking into the game with warm-ups on. And then I'm typing all the stuff he did. Oh my God, block through the net, goaltending. Look at this response. I write, short free throw twice. Tyler just goes, I'm glad he's gotten to win championships. That's the only reply. Look, Tyler, you love JaVale. It's okay. You're like Shaq's mom. You want Shaq to stop. Tyler, Shaq's mom had to make him stop. And Shaq said, it didn't get out of hand, but I love my mama, so I'm not going to say anything. Ladies, what happened on Dynamite at the end? I forget. Who won? Who is the official tag team of Inner Circle?
This was a mediocre, rushed tag team match, and it felt like it could have been way more. And for some reason, I don't know how this happened. The biggest finesse, if we could talk about more Impact Wrestling, if we could talk about Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, how Santana and Ortiz went to AEW blows my mind. These guys were the top tag team in Impact. And they were like, yeah, we'll go where the grass is greener, the land of tag teams. And these guys have been just completely buried. And now they're not even the official tag team of the Inner Circle. So I don't know what purpose these guys have anymore, but it's definitely time for them to break away from AEW and go back to Impact.
Oh, I was confused. I thought you were okay. So you're saying they should have stayed there. I thought you were saying they recently went to Impact and they were like wrestling and okay. So you think they're getting disrespected by TK and that they are the tag team of the Inner Circle and this is another slap in the face. They can't win this match. They can't win any. Why aren't they tag champs? They were LAX, but they weren't the real LAX, Fleeties. The real LAX wrestled on boards. Wasn't that Eddie Kingston?
Well, no, that board match was Santana and Ortiz, and I think they were against the old LAX.
Damn. You're always schooling me on Impact, ladies. I only remember half of it, though, and then I get it wrong later.
It was but they had such great matches in Impact, and I know that Gino will back me up on that it just blows my mind. I don't think I've seen them win a tag team match on Dynamite. I think they've won. They're probably 37-0 on Dark, but I never see these guys win matches. And for someone who was a legit fan of theirs, when they were leaving Impact, I was fingers crossed going WWE, WWE, WWE. And then they signed with AEW, and I was like, oh, they're better with tag teams anyway. And they've been misused completely. Like, why are they here? What's the point of having a tag team in your stable if Christopher and Maxwell are going to be the official tag team?
Ladies, we spent the night patiently waiting for Shaq again, but he's only a week away. We prepared for the McGregor fight as best we could. I hope you watched the 36-minute Ariel Helwani interview. I hope you watched Open Mat with Dan Hardy. I hope you watched Inside the Octagon with Dan Hardy. And Dan Hardy even has a third show on the Reptile YouTube channel. So we have a lot of stuff. Chael Sonnen's talking about it too, ladies. So we need to get our Conor McGregor videos in before Saturday. You still have a few days. Next week, ladies, I'm going to be wearing the Let Me In Fiend Santa hat, because we're going to put names in the hat because Royal Rumble is a week from this Sunday. And every Royal Rumble, we have entries that are put into a hat with people's names, actually. And we call 1 through 30, and we assign numbers to names. And you can get your entries next Wednesday. We'll have the whole system set up. I think we're going to use Lemon with it, ladies, and of course Streamlabs as well, but Lemon seems to be what people want to use.
Lemons are fun. Everybody enjoys the nice lemon. Yeah, it's going to be, I enjoy that it's already the Royal Rumble. It's exciting. Too bad we're going to be in the Thunderdome. We're not going to have a live like Royal Rumble. People are going to be yelling and that. Do you think they'll still have the crowd yelling the countdown?
Oh, I hope so. There would be like a Iron Man match with Seth Rollins in it. It would be so fucking great. Ladies, are you having technical issues on your end through our Discord? We should do this in the live channel. It has a higher bit rate, I think, than our DM video call.
If that works, I know like even for Valides, I've been just using Zoom because Discord's been giving me issues, and sometimes it takes up a bunch of RAM, and I'm confused why. Like I'll look over at the activity monitor, and it's like, why are you using half this computer's RAM?
You've been doing amazing. I could tell that there's definitely some echo or something interrupting you sometimes, and you're so professional. Yeah. Ladies, we also saw that Alex Marvez is a professional. He's a journalist, and he's asking questions that Brian Alvarez won't. Parks are there at gmail.com, ladies. I'm Vic Venom. I write a column, Vic Mitchell. And I'm going to make sure that all the tips I get are said on this program. You know, it's kind of like my Proton email, ladies, except it's Gmail. So, you know how, who does this? That awesome Twitter people, that Twitter people, ladies, not NBA Twitter, the one that takes all the anonymous tips on the stolen election.
Ayako Aklayama.
Not Ayako. Oh, Project Veritas. I'm like them, ladies. But
there you go.
My Proton is parksarethare@gmail.com. Crisscross202 checked his points. OGJFC used 40 points to play Ayako's name. Thank you again, OGJFC. Thank you, Rizzo, Peyton Priv. They both said lemon. Also, Peyton Priv sent ice cream. Crisscross sent ice cream. Primetime 13 sent diamonds tonight. Valides sent ice cream. Thank you, Valides. I'm going to say Shaq again because I have bountiful glory points. So I'm just going to type that in. Also, Valides, B2 the Prophet is the king of our leaderboard.
Shaq.
Look at him up there. I think that's for the month. And he's just always on top. And also, Valides, for all time, he's still on top, and Ricardio's in second, but much closer. Ricardio's only 5,000 away for all-time, Valides.
These are a lot of lemons. I mean, like, just to see the amount of, like, people really got behind lemons. I'm very proud of that, because when we came to D-Live, I was like, why the fuck are they using lemons? And I was proven completely wrong.
It took Tidy Labs to fix it. Tidy Labs gave us our alerts, our scroll bars, and everything we need for lemons to feel like bits. And lemons are even 0.1 cent cheaper than bits per lemon. Also, thank you to Ayako for having that name. We got to hear it tonight. The great Ricardio's here. Thank you, Binge Bong, for following. Thank you, DDA Network, for following. Primetime 13, I'm going to get that sounder, I promise. I'm going to keep looking. Fire Fist Day sent a diamond. And also, who sent was it Prophet who sent Ninja Guineas tonight? What an angel, ladies.
Yeah, there was. We had a couple Ninjaginis, didn't we? So yeah, it was a big Ninjagini party because I definitely remember playing the fake piano multiple times.
Quigley sent a Ninjagini. Thank you, Quigley. He sent one as well. Also, Gino was sending diamonds. Thix Forever sent diamonds. Let's do another disbursement before we go, ladies. I've already done 19 of them, but I can't stop. These people deserve it. Let's put 1,000 in it. I'll put 500. Let's put 1,000, ladies. I said it.
Once you said it out loud, you spoke it into existence. There's no going back. I just gave a lemon because I hope that improves my odds. I'm not sure if it does.
I added 1,000 into the disbursement. It'll be dispersed in 25 seconds. Ladies, I will be back Friday after SmackDown, and I'm going to run down SmackDown beginning to end with Tyler Spida. We're going to play NBA 2K all night. We might get on VR. Ladies, I've been doing box VR. You put in your own songs, and it sets it up like Beat Saber where you're punching shit. Hooks, uppercuts, depending on the angle, on beat with your own music. But ladies, I hate sweating with my Oculus Quest 2 on. There's nothing worse than sweating with a VR headset on.
That's actually a really good point that I didn't think of. It's probably there's probably an incentive to working out like with VR. But yeah, if you're wearing this expensive equipment and you're sweating in it, it's probably not good.
I bought even a silicone shield that goes over the black soft part on your forehead and face, but that just collects the sweat. So if you ever have to like move the thing a little, the face thing, the headset, sweat starts dripping down through that because it's not absorbed by silicone. It's just held there.
Look at Kevin Scampoli.
God forbid you have to take it off for a
He's
second.
over there. He's the sun. He's in his underwear probably because you can't see that far down between his legs.
I can only show my undies when you're big, please.
See right between his big fat knees. Look at Kevin Scampoli over there. Is he wearing underwear? I'll never know unless I turn on the cam, not the radio. Oh, look at Kevin Scampoli. Hope he gets naked for me. That's Kevin Scampoli. He looks really good today. Get out of my way. He's gonna burn you like the motherfucking sun would. Said he's gonna burn your ass like the motherfucking sun would.
The sun got too bright and too hot for me.
Ladies, that song was made like 7 or 8 years ago. And who would have thought it would be about the undies I started wearing last year while live?
Yeah, it's kind of weird how some things are really full circle, and no one would have thought that song would go to the underwear would be full circle, but it is. It's like Impact Wrestling.
Oh, look at the gifts come for JT. They're shaking butts on D-Live. There's a humping Asian. Ladies, I saw one D-Live channel where their chat's disabled. Like, because they broke community guidelines. Is that real? A chat room can break the guidelines and get disabled. Literally, the guy puts on his stream, don't send me lemons. I don't want to support this site anymore. I'm going to Trovo. So, ladies, we're going to Trovo as soon as our chat room gets banned here.
That's the next thing. It seems like everywhere we go, there's a plan B. You got to have a backup plan. And yeah, the Trovo, I mean, that's just the next D-Live. That's the next Twitch.
And weird thing is, I went to Trovo and there's way more people on it than D-Live anyway. Somehow D-Live really got into my alt-right Nazi world. And I've heard about it first, and that's what's going to bring it down. So Trovo is going to get an alt-right Nazi world soon. Ladies, we got to fantasy book Bray Wyatt becoming Matt Hardy. We got to praise a burned Randy Orton. And, of course, Shaq is only next week, and he's a flat earther. We should watch the rest of that McGee video, but I think I closed it. There was only 3 minutes left. I'll watch it in my own time. Ladies, you're back tomorrow on Twitch. You also simulcast to YouTube. What happened? I had your YouTube feed up while Tyler and I were playing 2K, and it said you were suspended. Was that real?
It happened for a split second, and apparently it was the UFC clip that I played, where they suspended it for just during while I was streaming that, and then as soon as it said that it should be fine now, but maybe I need to go back in and cut it out.
Where was that feature for me? My live streams just got taken down, and they took all the super chats. You get to keep streaming, and we'll just pick it up when you're done breaking the rules. How awesome. This site got really nice, and Susan took it over. So Bleedies will be live on YouTube and Twitch, but Twitch is where we all hang out for Bleedies. Twitch.tv/RealBleedies. That's where we subscribe, where we gift subs, where we play sounders like, do you remember when we super kicked you right in the face? You can play that sounder with Vleet coins, which you earn just by watching, like Bound for Glory points. So, Bleedies, you don't even need bits to play sounders on your show, huh?
Exactly. You just have to be there. It'll accumulate, and yeah, you'll get to hear Kyle Jackson with his awesome BTE acting, And it's my favorite sounder, by the way. I mean, I walk around my place now and I just say it every once in a while. Someone will ask me a question, it's the first thing I think of. Like, hey, did you go to the store? Do you remember? Like, it's just complete non sequitur. I don't know why he had to bring that up.
I can't wait for tomorrow when you prove the earth is flat again. How many times do you prove it before anyone fucking gets it? It takes years, you know. In a few years, people in the chat now will be like, finally, I found it on my own. But you could find it tomorrow on Real Vleeties on Twitch. And again, I'm back Friday. Vleeties, subscribestar.com/TWFS has our stolen YouTube history. The incompetence of Eric Bischoff we watched the other day, and that's up there to download. Greatest commentators, worst commentators. Greatest title belts, worst title belts. Remember, Vleeties, when you said you don't want a foggy mirror on your championship as we trash the NWA title. One of the best Vleeties lines of all time is finally on Substar.
Yeah, please go there, subscribestar.twfs. And then I think you said this a couple weeks ago, and I think I'm starting to see it. People downloading the videos and then uploading them to YouTube. Like, just because YouTube Nazis are getting rid of the content doesn't mean it's going to not be there forever. You guys can get it on there. Spread the good word.
Yes, keep it on YouTube. It will annoy somebody, and that's always the goal. Vleeties, I don't want to go. I'm like Jim Ross. I just don't want to leave. I don't want you to hang up.
Because I don't want you to hang up. I don't want to leave.
When you lose your wife in your driveway, that's how every podcast ends for you too. Ladies, Jim Ross and I lost our wife in our driveway, and we never want to lose our co-host the same way.
Gosh, that's so sad for both of you guys. I mean, at least you guys are both doing well. What did JR say? Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, I think we all can kind of live with that life.
Yeah, and also in the same vein, how do you scout a silly string, you know? How do you scout stuff like this happening in your life? How do you scout JaVale McGee? This guy could be anywhere. Ladies, I'm going to be playing with Tyler Spida on his Twitch when we're done here. We're about to go raid him, which means we post a GIF of the FBI in the D-Live chat, kicking a door in, and we're raiding Twitch over there. So twitch.tv/Tyler Spida. I'm going to bring it up as we leave. And until the day we beep.
We are.
We're the whole beeping show.
You see, I'm trapped in my mind.
Royal Rumble picks next week.
Oh, I don't think I'll ever go.
Maybe I'll pick it Friday.
You see, the walls are so high that I couldn't climb. So I don't know which way to roll. I feel I'm stuck in rewind, though I'm looking forward.
I'll check the door, Ayako. I bet they just left my pizza there again, huh?
They do that now.
Animals. Better be deep dish, hand stretched. It's Wacky Wednesday in NBA 2K. Kevin Bird wants double rep.
The sun seems to shine when I am not looking. Oh, it seems to trick every time. Things do get out of hand once a while inside my mental. Hey, I took one hell of a ride. When I see what is so, I know I am not lucky. Yeah, I like to pat my own back.
Luckily that page vagina was like this big. And it was in 720p, so it just looks like skin. Couldn't really tell it was a vagina unless you look at the file name. Some mean person on Twitter tweeted on Ayako that she's a G word. And I read that. And I'm like, is that what I keep saying? Is that what I look like when I say it? This was a changing moment for me. And it might be because they use 3 O's.
Been Boaz for a long time. You see, I'm trapped in my mind, and I know it's crazy.
That's a good way to say it.
It's not that bad at all.
If that makes sense.
When you think of the world.
What school should I go to?
Crazy. Hey, I'm not that bad at all. Oh, babe.
When is Kevin Scampoli coming on the show?
Kevin, I'm sure you can beat up most of that locker room.
People aren't built tough anymore. They aren't built to grind. People aren't built tough anymore. People aren't built tough anymore. They aren't built to grind. They're built weak, soft. They're used to second place trophies. I'll tell you a story, Booker. I fought in a tournament and I took 4th place. On the way home from that tournament, I had a trophy in my hand and my dad said, "Hey, let me see that trophy." And he threw it out the window while we were on the highway home. I don't accept 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place. I was built to be tough. I was built to last. And I was built to get things done by any means necessary.
Cruz also grew up watching John Cena, as you can tell from how thickly muscled he is.
Bye. See you, Bill.
Bye.
Bye, Bill. See you around, Bill.
See you Sunday.
Ladies, you're the king. Great job tonight, my friend. Oh, I tested you tonight, huh? I was going in.
That was a good one. That was a really good one, though, because it was funny. Like, the entire time I kept, listening. I kept leaning over to laugh because it was funny.
I had to go in hard on you, Fleeties. I have no one else to abuse but Tyler. And he got 8 hours of it while we streamed the other night.
Oh, hopefully you win. The JaVale McGee stuff, by the way.
I keep playing Work by Rihanna while we play basketball, and Tyler hates that. I love that.
I don't know why you do that.
It gets me really good on the court. I'm great in the paint. All right, Fleeties, I love you, and you're the best.
Have a good night, my friend.
You too. I'll see you on Discord. Where'd Tyler go? Tyler's playing WWE 2K. He's waiting for me. Tyler, I'm going to be up so quick, like within 14 minutes. We need to play 2K because it's only till midnight. He can't hear me. I'm talking to myself. God damn it.
Man, that person backed out.
Don't worry, Tyler. I'm coming to NBA. This podcast will have to go up later. All right. Thank you again so much. Nathan Weller, I see you. Ricardio. I didn't see Nathan's name yet tonight.
I can't find my bong anywhere.
Quiggly, thank you for the Ninja Guinea. And if you can still hear my voice, thank you for spending your Wednesday night with Fleeties and I.
I feel like this dude might kick me if I pick the Fiend too.
He's running?
But we'll fucking risk it.
Oh, let me just put the...
Oh, Quigley all the time. I just broke my my bong bowl, man. I had to get a new one.